Hey Lexi, we were supposed to watch the Phineas and Ferb Mission Marvel episode in honor of its 5th anniversary, but I'm not sure that many people are really checking for that episode right now, and plus I feel like we're doing an awful lot of watch-alongs in the next little while.
Yeah.
So I thought, why don't we do something else?
Okay.
Obviously. Or no, let's just do what I said we shouldn't do. This is going to be one of the longest intros ever, apparently, because I'm just rambling a bit.
You know what happens.
Anyway, I found a tier maker list.
Yes.
Of all the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies and series.
Oh my gosh.
And we've had some good times with Tier Maker, and we're actually going to record this to put it up on our YouTube channel so people can watch along with us.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the podcast again, hopefully we're going to make it entertaining for you. And this is the stuff I should be saying in like the intro proper, not the cold open. So anyway, we've got that. We've got some quizzes left over from earlier in the summer. What do you say we dive into all that stuff?
Let's dive.
Let's get the conversation started. Hello and welcome to LexiCon. It is Maddie.
Lexi.
And Dylan.
Who's staring at a cat.
Yeah, because she's trying to climb up the side of his chair. Oh no.
And there's
It's
Mikey.
Come on.
And yeah,
Yeah,
today
you can
we're going to be
join
having a little bit of fun. We're going to be playing Tier Maker, which is one of our favorite things to do on the show, and taking some quizzes, another one of our favorite things to do on the show.
This is fact.
And if you're watching along with us on our YouTube channel, at LexiCon Podcast, you can see that we've got a lot of Marvel properties up here on the screen.
A lot. More than just the MCU.
Yeah, because it's got some of the Fox Cinematic Universe as well, some of which crosses over with the MCU property. Actually, does it feel like we're maybe missing a few things here? I mean, maybe.
Probably.
What do we got? 1, 2,
no
3,
idea.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 84. That's 94. Yeah, that's probably everything.
Almost 100.
Yeah.
By the way, fun fact. Did you know the current phase of Marvel we're in has more watch minutes than the entirety of the Infinity Saga?
I don't even know what
Combined.
that means.
The current phase of the MCU.
I guess you're counting whatever TV programs or streaming
Yes.
programs.
At least that's what I've heard.
That is part of the phase.
Those 6 to 10 hour movies cut up into episodes.
Yes. All that has more watching minutes than the entire Infinity Saga.
Well, I was kind of in a Marvel mood, which makes it seem like the Phineas and Ferb episode would have been a good thing to watch, but I just wasn't sure how much we'd have to say about it specifically. I figured we would drift off into other Marvel properties, so why not just get into that? Because, of course, Secret Invasion just ended recently.
Yes.
We've been seeing previews for Loki coming up, and we finally got around to seeing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Ant-Man and Wasp and Quantumania, and Across the Spider-Verse, so feeling
Yes.
very marvelous right now.
Yes. I was wearing a Marvel t-shirt before we started this.
And I will say, I enjoyed all those things to, greater or lesser degrees, but we'll talk about them more specifically as we put them
Get
here
to
on our
them.
tiers.
Yes.
Tiers
There are
of
no
clowns.
tiers here at this tier maker.
So this particular tier maker, which I, found like literally 5 minutes before we were going to record, has amazing, great, good, average, bad, and haven't seen. I think that's pretty appropriate.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go in the order that they are here. I don't know what kind of order they in.
They are
I don't
in.
know what kind of order they in. What kind of order you in, motherfuckers? No, see, I don't know what kind of order they are in. It doesn't seem to be. I thought maybe it was alphabetical because I saw Avengers here at the beginning, but then we go right into Thor and then Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
which looks
yeah.
like the first
It's the-
Spider-Man.
It's the order they remembered the movies in.
Probably.
Yeah, so we're just going to go in that order for lack of anything better. And I think we'll include whatever's on here, even if it's Fox properties. But if we haven't seen it, of course, we'll put in haven't seen.
Yes.
And we've seen a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, but there's a good bit we haven't seen as well. So
I'll say, as far as the proper MCU, we've seen most of it.
Yeah, pretty much the entire MCU.
Pretty much. But yeah, the extended, the no longer canon, etc., never canon, whatever,
The Netflix shows.
we haven't seen.
some of the stuff I didn't even know was
Because
actually
you've probably
even,
seen more than us.
some of the stuff I didn't even know was actually even released. I don't think I've seen anything more than y'all. Everything I've seen with y'all. I mean, maybe I've seen one of the Fox X-Men movies.
I was gonna say, I feel like you've seen Fox properties. I feel like you've seen the non-MCU Spider-Man. Not all
Oh
of
yeah,
them,
I
but
didn't
some
think
of
about.
them.
Okay, this is not. I wanted to put my glasses on because I thought
It's
it would
not
help see
open.
these small. Yeah, because I need glasses for things that are very small.
Don't worry,
and close up.
I'll look at them.
Things that are far away, I can see much better.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses.
And so we have this odd conundrum where we have things that are further away, but they're very small.
Yeah.
But no, I'm good.
You can zoom in on the computer.
At first, I wasn't sure. I can, but I didn't want to screw with the visuals on the old tube.
You also have the computer right there with you.
Now that I'm gonna need my glasses. It's close up. So if I'm looking at that, the glasses work. If I'm looking at that,
Yeah.
And
no
this is
point
why
in
you need
that.
a monocle.
this is why I need prescription eyeglasses,
Yes.
probably. But
A monocle.
I need to
just-
get mine updated.
You see, either close one eye, depending on what you need to look at.
so like Pirates with the eye patch, kind of.
Yes. Or you just
Yeah,
pull the monocle
I
up, I guess.
I don't know.
I've come to find out that's one of my favorite episodes that MythBusters did. first Pirate special, which is a 2-hour special.
Uh-huh.
And they test the myth about that the shrapnel that cannonballs cause from, splintering the wood on ships was actually more deadly than the cannonballs themselves. They test the feasibility of using a knife or a sword to slide your way down the sail of a ship.
Yeah.
And they do 4 myths. I'm forgetting one of them. Those are 2 of them. What's Adam and Jamie's other myth for that episode? Gosh, I can't believe I'm... See, they do 2 myths early in the episode because it's a 2-hour long episode.
Yeah.
And then they do 2 myths later. And I know that the sail is one of the ones. They've done some other pirate myths. I just can't... Oh, yeah, no, it was whether or not pirates could have used rum as a laundry agent.
Interesting.
And they busted that. And they busted the sail. They busted the cannon shrapnel. But the one they confirmed, or at least as being plausible, was the idea that pirates didn't wear eye patches to cover up a wounded eye, but rather as a night vision aid. Mm-hmm. So if they're down below in candlelight and they have to come up and fight a battle on deck at night, or if they're out on deck during the day in the bright sun, they have to go down below. That way they have an eye that's already adjusted to the darkness, and they actually prove that that's plausible. They set up an obstacle course where you could, and had Adam and Jamie go through it in the dark, because the Bill team, Carrie, Tori, and Grant, R.I.P., put it together, and without with the sun bleached eye, when they sat out in the sun and the other eye covered, they were stumbling around in the dark, but the eye that had been covered by the eye patch for half an hour plus, they flipped it over and they were able to actually see. And I love those myths that you're like, could that really be true? That sounds kind of specious, but then damn, it is.
Yeah. On First of all, I've just looked on Toymaker. They don't have anything related to Mythbusters.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to make one.
Okay.
But
seems reasonable.
That's one of my favorite myths that they confirmed. I also like the one where they confirmed that turning the lights off when you leave a room saves electricity more than leaving it on.
Yeah.
Because the common misconception is it's like an internal combustion engine in a car, where it's better to leave your car running for a short period of time than turn it off and on repeatedly. I know modern cars shut themselves down, but that's a different system. We're talking older cars. If it's going to be more than a couple of minutes, it's better to turn it off for just a minute, because when you start up a car, you need that initial explosion to get things started. And there is an initial surge in the light, but it's so infinitesimal that, unless you're literally going to be out of the room for percentages of a second, quicker than a human eye can blink, it's better to just turn it off if you're not using it. And my dad told me that growing up. Mm-hmm. And so I love the fact that Mythbusters confirmed that.
Nice.
Just like when they did the underwater car.
Yeah.
And they showed how you can relax and wait for the pressure to equal out, and then you can get the door open. But if you can't wait for that, you're not going to be able to open the door, so you're going to have to break the window or something. Or if you can get the window down before you go under, you can get out. And that's what my dad always told me about a car going in water. Get the window down before the water gets up to it.
I want to know where he learned that.
Well, I mean, it is somewhat common sense. Like, the pressure from the water is going to make it hard. Well, okay, you have the pressure on the outside, so you can't open the door until the pressure's equalized when the car's filled up with water. So if you get the window down, you're going to have an opening you can get out of. You don't have to worry about opening a door. Mm-hmm. But those are some. I love the chicken gun episode too. And that's when they did twice. And the myth was that I think the myth is, as they told it, was the British Army wanted to test their airplane windscreens for bird strikes. Mm-hmm. And they took a technique from the United States military, and different people tell it different ways, so it could have been different countries. But the idea was every bird they shot, they were shooting chicken carcasses. And everyone they shot was just tearing right through the windscreen, the windshield of the plane. And the military from which they got the idea had to say, gentlemen, thaw your chickens. And it was the idea, does a frozen chicken cause more damage than a thawed chicken would? And the first time they did it, they came away with the conclusion that it was the same. And the second time, they went back and retested because people were like, no, y'all got it wrong. And they went through a bunch of different machinations to test it out. And Jamie kept pushing, no, we haven't hit it right. And he finally came upon, look, we're just going to fire it at panes of glass and see which one goes through more. And I was like, no, that's stupid. We shouldn't do it, but fine if you want to. And they shot the first one through, the thawed one, and it broke 4 panes of glass, I think. Something like, or parts of 4. And they shoot the second one through, and they just show Adam's reaction, just like, huh. And they go through, and it's just shattered all the way through.
Oh, gosh.
I just love that moment of, yeah, that one's pretty much confirmed, as it turns out. That's my second favorite Mythbusters moment. My favorite moment is the 100-mile-an-hour crash, though, when they were testing whether 2 cars going 50 miles an hour crashing together was the same as one car hitting a wall at 100 miles an hour, which of course it isn't, because for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. If you hit something at 50 miles an hour, it's going to be impacted by 50 miles an hour. You're going to be impacted by the 50 miles an hour. So it doesn't matter how fast you're both going. It's just the 50 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's the threshold. And then, but the visual representation of the car hitting the wall at 50 miles an hour, or the two cars hitting each other, whatever, and then they hit the wall with the one car at 100 miles an hour. It's just so dramatically different. I love those myths that are just so visceral, and you can just see right away, oh, well, that's clearly busted or clearly confirmed. But anyway, that was Mythbusters Minutes.
Yeah.
But feels like it makes sense that a thawed chicken would deal less damage than an unthawed one.
I agree. I'm not sure why Adam was so obstinate about, no, of course, the same amount of mass. I mean, think about it. You drop something frozen, it's harder than something that's not frozen.
It's much more solid.
The solidifying of those liquids and that water in it makes it harder. It may be the same amount of mass, but it's in a different state. It's just
a different hardness.
Throwing ice and throwing water are two different
Exactly.
things.
You throw a cup of water at somebody, it's going to feel a lot different than if you throw a cup of ice at somebody or freeze that water and throw it at them. So it seems like common sense to me. I understand sometimes they test things that you would think are common sense, but that's the whole point of the show, is testing whether it's real or it's a myth.
And I also find funny that the first test wasn't just throwing it at panes of glass.
Yeah.
That feels like the first thing I do.
They started out they went and got like a junker airplane, like a small, single flyer plane from the airplane junkyard or the airplane supplier, and they shot it at that, and that's what they went away with. But then it turned out that the airplane windshields that they got weren't rated for bird strikes, so it invalidated the test.
Reasonable.
And so then I guess it was just somewhat unreasonable to try to get more airplane windshields that were rated for bird strikes, so they tried other methods. And they tried shooting them to foam and different things that, I guess it was just more feasible for them at the time. But eventually, when they land on the glass, I just love that where you can just visually see, boom, okay, it's clear what the myth is. There's no, vagaries about it. It's just, that's what it is.
Yeah.
No ambiguity, just confirmed or busted.
Yeah. It feels like 9% of the myths are either plausible or busted.
I think confirm a good bit. You gotta go back and watch it more.
It feels like
we definitely don't watch it as
conform a
often
lot.
as you do.
You can watch it on HBO Max, because now they and Discovery emerged. I guess you can still watch it on Discovery Plus too, but I figure why pay for Discovery Plus and HBO Max, get all the same kind of... But for some reason, they don't have all the episodes on there. And it's season 4 in particular, maybe not half the episodes, because there's a lot of episodes that season, but a good 10 or so episodes are just gone. And they used to be on Discovery Plus.
Interesting.
When we first got Discovery Plus, but now they're off. And some of them, it's I thought maybe some of it was for content.
Uh-huh.
Because there's some episodes like shooting a bullet up. Maybe you don't want people to do that or this or that. And like the Mentos episode is gone.
Interesting.
And so maybe they didn't want people replicating that. But then there's other episodes where they do things with guns and they do things with explosives, but who can get their hands on explosives? But they do things that could be dangerous to somebody. You would think maybe they don't want to put that out there. So there doesn't seem to be any real rhyme or reason.
Don't they put a disclaimer on the episodes?
No. Well, they do say don't try this at home.
Exactly.
And I mean, maybe they use some music in those episodes. There's some licensing right
Maybe.
over, because music is sort of a touchy subject and can kind of get you even if you think you have the rights to it.
Yeah.
Honestly, half the time it feels random when there's
It almost does. And like I say, it's basically that one season where close to half the episodes are gone, and then some of the later seasons I've noticed there's an episode or two missing. And then like the Shark Week episode, the original one they did, I think they only did one. They may have done two. And they definitely did one toward the end of the series run that was just Adam and Jamie. That one's on there. But the original Shark Week one is nowhere to be found.
I'd say, especially with the episodes that were on Discovery Plus but aren't on Max, I would assume that it's probably just some behind the scenes something happened when they merged.
Well, no, these were gone from Discovery Plus before they moved to Max.
Yeah, then that's just
I can't confirm that the later season episodes I've noticed missing were there or not, because I don't watch the later seasons as much, especially the ones that are just Adam and Jamie, because they're good, but it's better when you have the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
But that one season, that season 4, where there's so many episodes missing, they were there originally, because Dylan and I went back and we rewatched through all the Mythbusters episodes not that long ago. But then, within the last few months, they disappeared off Discovery Plus and made the move over to Max, same thing.
Interesting.
And probably just for losses or whatever.
Probably.
But all that has nothing to do with Marvel.
That is
I don't even
bad.
remember how we got onto
But
that.
real quick,
I guess we'll transition over. Let's start talking about the
real
Marvel
quick,
acquisition.
Another annoying thing that streaming services do a lot. Sometimes the order of the show will just be in a really odd order of different shows.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that too much.
I thought you were
What?
going to talk about the other thing that Max did.
Like, it'll just be like, oh, hey, should we put this in release order?
Max?
Should we put this in the intended order for the episodes to be watched? No, let's put it in production order, but only for the first season. And it's like, what?
Okay,
There's something like that for like Sonic Underground or whatever on one of them, and it's like, why?
Yeah, you made me think about how Max decided to just entirely remove some shows just to claim some losses.
Yeah. Or how
And I'm
some
so
shows in
upset 'cause
general
I actually
just decide
really
to
like
remove
one of those
shows after like a
shows.
month. It's like, here's a show for a month, bye.
Yeah,
Yeah, Disney's cut some shows too that I'm disappointed that aren't on there anymore.
I'm sorry.
It's like, what the frick? It's like Disney so far. The main two I know of is, it's Willow and what else?
Willow's the main one that I knew that I was interested in.
And then another one.
And I'm thinking
there's several others they've
Max's
cut.
Summer Camp Island.
I know the one you like,
So
John
good.
Stamos is the basketball coach.
Yeah.
I know, they
that
like
too.
they really like to only have freaking shows up for a little bit, and they're like, nah, that's
They just like to
fun.
have Marvel and Star Wars shows.
Yeah, those
Speaking of
stay up forever.
MythBusters, they did do a Star Wars
I thought you were going to say, speaking of Marvel.
Two, as a matter of fact. They didn't do a Marvel episode, but they did do a superhero episode.
Nice. They couldn't
And
get
speaking
Disney's
of superheroes,
permission.
I'm trying hard to transition back.
Let's
into-
talk
trying
about
so
superheroes.
hard.
So, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the expanded Marvel Cinematic Universe, including the Fox Universe and the Disney Plus series.
Yes,
Those that may or may not be canon.
Most of the
and those that were completely
big
pointless, like
and also like
Inhumans.
every Spider-Man
ventures
movie.
of Marvel into film.
So let's get into it now without any further ado, because I could go on and on about MythBusters.
Yes.
This is not the MythBusters episode.
That'll be later in the year.
Maybe we do have a couple of open slots.
Yep.
So beginning where this list begins with one of the best, we have Avengers Infinity War.
I'd give it a great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, great? It's amazing.
I'd give it a great.
Infinity War? Oh,
Not
wait.
as good as Endgame.
You're
but
right,
like,
you're right, you're right. I can co-sign that. I keep forgetting it's Infinity War, then Endgame. I see one and I think it's both of them. Because it was supposed to be the same title, just part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
No, we might move it up to amazing as we go along, because it's borderline to me. When I do my personal tiers, I usually put it down in the second tier. But it's really good. It's just that it's part 1 of the story, you know? And without Endgame, it lacks a little bit. And there are some minor complaints I have about it and the way they handled it, which you can hear about on our commentary for it and our review for it if you go back in the archives. But yeah, I'm with you on great. Now, Thor Ragnarok, that's amazing.
Yes, easily.
Definitely top tier. Now, help me out here because I can hardly see
That's
this.
the first Spider-Man, I believe,
Yeah,
Homecoming.
because I think that's the Vulture.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Maybe average. Average for
Good.
an MCU movie.
I say
Okay.
it's
I'm fine with
I'm fine.
either option.
Inhumans was...
good. Bad.
I'm not sure that it was really bad.
It's between average and bad.
Here we go. The concept of taking the first 2 episodes of the TV series, presenting them as a movie in IMAX, and then still showing the episodes on TV, that was bad.
Yeah.
Because I
And
felt
also,
like, we
wasn't
gotta
it
go to
that
the
good
theater
as
to
a
see
movie?
it. It
That's
wasn't
the
that
first 2
good, but
episodes.
I'm not sure it was it really bad? Because there are some
I'm gonna
things in
call
the
it bad.
MCU that were
I don't
really
know.
bad.
I think
I'm gonna
it
call it
did
bad.
unfortunately get overshadowed a bit by that presentation.
It wasn't a movie.
It wasn't great, and it does
It
almost
wasn't
feel like
even
it
a
was
movie.
below average for Marvel. At least nowadays.
Well, we should clarify. Are we rating for Marvel, or are we just rating in general? Because that's
I'm
a
rating
different
about
scale.
I feel as though for average, we have to rate based on Marvel. But like even compared to the other shows that they were
I'm
doing
rating
at
based on
the
how I
time, I feel as though it didn't quite hit the same mark.
All right, Captain Marvel is great.
Yes.
It's right below top tier for me. It's in that really good second
It's pretty
tier.
good.
I love Captain Marvel. I know some people
I
hate on
enjoyed
it,
it.
but I really liked it.
Honestly, Black Widow is mid.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad, but I'd say average at best. But okay, again, average for MCU or below average for MCU? Because it's below average for an MCU movie. But
Yeah.
I have trouble calling it bad because there's some things that are so
We
much
need something
worse.
in between. We just need a below average.
Oh, okay. Just see
Like
this.
it's not bad. It's just it's
See-
not the same
just
level
see this as, like,
a regular
F-
Marvel movie.
D.
No, like I said, we need a below
CBA.
average there.
Asked and answered.
Can we just change these all to leches instead? I do better with leches.
I'm fine with the words. I just
I'm
needed a
fine with
below
where we
average.
are.
It needs a different color.
Because, like, Black Widow, I'd give like a
We
C.
need to adjust the colors now.
Inhumans, I'd give like
Okay,
a
what
D.
color should this...
I think this goes to the green.
This one?
Yeah. And then we might have to adjust the ones below it. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That
color
goes
editing.
to the next green, and the last one becomes
that
the
means
first blue.
That really nice, pretty blues.
But the last one's gray. It doesn't follow the same thing as the other ones.
Okay,
I can
fine.
respect that. Alright, now back to it. Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh wait, well, we're moving Black Widow to below average.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Well,
And
wait a minute. if we're doing
remove
that, I think we
Inhumans
should
up,
move
yeah.
Inhumans up. But definitely,
sure.
I put Black Widow ahead of Inhumans. Now, Spider-Man Far From Home was, for a long time, like, the last really good MCU movie for me. Although, I'd argue Shang-Chi was a better movie.
I'll put good.
But my issues with Shang-Chi are just that it felt a little too removed from the larger MCU. And we haven't seen anything before or since about it, so... But I did enjoy it, and it's easily as good as the first Spider-Man movie. Probably better. I wouldn't say great, but I'd say it's definitely ahead of the other Spider-Man, or for me anyway. Now help me out here. Is this the original Guardians?
That's the original, I believe, because I think that's Guardians 2 over there.
Well, sticking to this one, the original Guardians is really good. I'm not
Great.
sure. You think it's great?
Yeah.
Okay, but gosh, it was really good. I haven't seen it in forever.
It's got Groot.
I would not put it above Infinity War.
Okay.
I could listen to an argument that it's above Captain
I'd put
Marvel.
above Captain
I
Marvel,
only
honestly.
partially remember it.
But they're both very, very good.
I will say now, this is the downside. I only half remember most
Alright,
of
Alex,
these
you're going to have to help
movies.
us out with this one, because Dylan and I haven't seen
It
Agent
was
Carter.
At least good.
I mean, I think
I
we have
enjoyed
to
it.
respect her opinion, right? If we haven't seen it.
Sure.
Like, if only one of us
Yes.
has seen it, we still rate it, right?
I
I'm not
put
sure how much I
it fell
trust your
right in
opinion, but-
with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, obviously different time
yeah,
and setting, but yeah,
I didn't avoid it. I didn't
quality-wise.
avoid it because I was like, man, that shit looks like it sucks. I just didn't get around to it because there's so much to watch and only so much time. This is Age of Ultron coming next.
Okay.
Age of Ultron is underrated. It is a very good movie.
It is good.
Um,
Is it good or great?
I think it's great. I think all the Avengers are great.
I,
Okay.
Like, it might be on the lower. Like I say, maybe if I was really making an accurate tier list, there would be very good, then great.
I was
It's been
going
a
to
while
say,
since
I
I
feel
watched
as
Age of
though,
Ultron.
But I'm not sure. we
Age
can
of
go
Ultron
crazy.
might be the lowest of the Avengers, specifically.
Agreed.
But
it
it's still a
makes it
good
very
movie, yeah.
The original Ant-Man. I say good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
I honestly, I'm not a
also-
huge fan of the Ant-Man movies by and large, but I do enjoy them.
I like Ant-Man.
If we're gonna get really granular, I'd probably put it here.
Okay.
Okay.
It's tough for me. You'd have to help us with Agent Carter if I should.
It's
move
been
it up.
so long, so I really don't know. As long as it's within that tier.
Have either one of you seen
Nope.
Daredevil?
No.
I only saw his appearances in She-Hulk. So.
I was going to say I want to,
Haven't
but
seen
I never
Jessica
watched it
Jones.
without y'all.
Civil
Civil War,
War,
great. Yeah, it was slightly disappointing just because I had such high expectations for it, but still really damn good. The original Doctor Strange.
Oh, great.
Good. Great?
I like Doctor Strange.
I just went Scooby-Doo there. Right?
Doctor Strange is
Can
cool.
you draw that for the thumbnail?
I don't know.
Scooby-Doo going, right? With a question mark. Where do you fall on this, Alex? I don't think the original Doctor Strange was great. It was good.
Fine, high good.
I was going to say, I have to be honest.
I was
It
saying,
is.
do you put it ahead of Far From Home?
I can't say it's one of my lower ranked MCU, but it's definitely low on my personal rank.
It was good. It was good.
It was good,
I'm
yeah.
shitting on it a little too much because it is really good.
It was good, just to me.
I just don't know
it
that it's
was
great.
lower than like the earlier stuff.
Do you want it ahead of Far From Home or behind it? Because I can
I don't
honestly
care.
go either.
The Doctor is better than the Spider.
I haven't seen Luke. I haven't seen
Me
any of the
neither.
Netflix series. So
I still want
No,
to.
that Guardians.
I assume
2.
y'all want to,
I think that's
cool.
Guardians 2 though.
because if not, I'll
Nobody
totally
say
go
words.
binge them.
Blockage.
No, that movie is awful. That is one of the 2 worst MCU movies.
I don't
have
remember
seen.
it enough to argue
It is
this,
I
absolutely-
so
like it more than Inhumans.
It has. Look, I'll
I'm
put
not
it-
big on the
I will
Guardians.
put Inhumans
so.
down into bad, but I
Do
will
it.
not put it ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I will not.
Like, I
put
have
it
nothing
behind
against the
Guardians of
Guardians. I
Guardians
enjoyed
of the Galaxy
both
2 is
of them.
better.
Part of it may be
Inhumans.
expectations because the first one was so good. This one, it is way too silly. The silliness way overshadows anything else in the movie.
It's got some good moments.
And it feels like it has no purpose. I don't want to say it's unfocused because that's not fair, but it feels like it has no purpose yet. Okay, it's Quill's dad, great, and they just,
yeah,
it just doesn't
and
go.
then they blow him up.
Like the only thing that movie served to do is kill Yondu and introduce Mantis. It did nothing else of any value. That movie is garbage. It is amazing that James Gunn, who has made 2 really fantastic MCU movies and 1 really great DCEU movie and 1 really great DCEU series, made this absolute horrid piece
I'd
of
put it above
garbage.
Inhumans.
Well, you ain't getting that. That's the best I'm giving you. The same tier because I
Remember
hate
the dog?
that movie. Like it's not even like it was disappointing like Black Widow. It is garbage. It is one of the 2 worst MCU movies, and as you'll see, I have not seen Incredible Hulk. So I can't rate that, and I know a lot of people shit on that. But for my money, it is absolutely awful. And I'm not even sure which one I hate more.
Maybe you should watch it again with a low expectation.
I've thought about watching it again to do a commentary on it for the show. Oh my god, can we do a drinking game? This is one of the Hulk movies. I haven't seen any of the Hulk movies.
There's multiple?
Isn't there only one?
I thought there was only one.
There's one official MCU one, but like Ang Lee made a Hulk movie, so I wasn't sure if that was on here.
I have no idea.
Yeah, and
I haven't seen it.
And you would think that would be awesome because Ang Lee's a great director, but it didn't look very good. The CGI looked terrible. But regardless, I haven't seen any of them, so it's going to have to go in. I haven't seen. There's no point in maneuvering them more. Oh, I haven't seen this one more than I haven't seen this one.
Iron Fist.
Can you read the title of that Hulk one? Because I can't.
I think it just says Hulk.
Yeah, it's just Hulk.
It's the Incredible Hulk. That's in the MCU.
Defenders haven't seen.
Yeah, it says the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, Defenders back in the group with Jessica and Iron Fist and Luke.
What's that? Runaways?
One Ways is so good.
Have you seen it all?
Yes.
Enough to rate it? Okay.
Yes.
You'd probably put in like amazing too or something.
Well,
I don't know if I'd go amazing.
We're going to defer completely to you on this because you're the one who's seen it, and we'll respect your opinion since we don't have one to offer.
To me, it's
I did not mean to.
either within the range of Agent Carter, Agent Shield,
My laptop doesn't have a split,
or just
the left and
slightly
right
under
buttons,
it.
and you're just not going to let me get that.
Because I was in the middle of a statement.
Okay, I just want to point out why I did what I did.
It happens.
Hey, interruptions, man. It's episode 360. We're going full circle.
Exactly.
So where do Runaways go?
Anyway, either within the same range
If
of
a
like
runaway
Agent...
runs in a full circle, would they still be a runaway? Because they would just end up back. Okay, go ahead.
Either within the
Agent
same range of that or just slightly under it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
As
I'll
a
take
dinosaur.
Punisher. I was a huge Punisher fan when I was a kid. I loved the comics. I remember the original movie with Dolph Lundgren. I really enjoyed it.
Never seen it.
Never got around to seeing the series though. So it's got to go into there.
This is a list of things to
This
catch
is the
up on.
original Black Panther, right?
I believe so.
Wakanda Forever. Yeah, because T'Challa is top of the bill.
Yeah.
All right, that's amazing. That's one of the absolute best MCU movies.
I will agree with that.
Here I go again. Now, see, I wanted to explain.
There I go again.
We're working on my laptop, and the only complaint I have about my laptop is on the touchpad, it doesn't have distinct left and right keys for the mouse.
Honestly, I touched it today. It does not feel good.
Yeah, you got to go like really down in the corner. But it's a great laptop other than that. So I can live with that.
You need to get a mouse to plug into it.
I can't see the whole screen here, and I want to zoom out. Okay. And
Better than...
these movies came out in succession. Thor was at the end of one year in November. Black Panther was at the beginning of the next year in February. And it was in this really great stretch of Marvel movies when we got those two. And then Infinity War, and then Captain Marvel, and then Endgame. It might just depend on which one I've seen more recently, but
Yeah.
I'm going to put Black Panther on top for right now. Because right now, it feels stronger than Ragnarok. But they're both fantastic.
Black Panther
Yeah.
is amazing.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, probably
It's
was
fine.
the first one.
Yeah, I'm thinking like average. Like, it's totally fine.
I'm okay with saying it's average because I
What even
don't
happened?
remember.
Oh yeah, that's when they fight ghosts.
There's just like a whole period of Marvel films that I don't remember. Like, I know I saw them, I just don't remember them.
It's not bad at all, and it's not bad for a Marvel movie. It's just nothing special. I didn't even know Cloak and Dagger existed. Have y'all even ever heard of this?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. I never got around to it. It's from the same time period as Runaways.
Anyway,
Sure.
up
And now-
next.
They may have even crossed over.
Endgame.
Top tier.
Amazing.
The end of the really great Marvel run, at least so far. Hold on, I'm going.
I have to say so far. I feel as
Very potentially the
as
best
though we're
one.
Yeah,
still
it may be my favorite.
watching
And again,
the current one
it's
play out.
something like Rogue One, whereas it only matters because of what built up to it. Like, it executes its premise very well, but if you didn't have all that build up, it would be lesser for it.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into consideration, but with all that build up, it is so fantastic. Love that movie. No way I'm putting that anything but amazing.
What is that?
I can't even read that. Hellstorm? Has anyone even heard of that? Okay, don't lean right on the mic when you're looking
Something
at it.
like that. I don't know. Never seen it.
I was gonna say, I don't
I don't
any of
think
us
that's
have
what
seen
it says, but I can't tell what it says. Close, if not correct. I can't read very well.
You're right. Hellstrom or Shellstrom?
I have no idea.
I don't even know what that is. Hold on.
Just copy paste it into Google.
Let's take a detour. There it is. It's a TV show. It had one season from
It's not
2020.
recommended an MCU.
Hellstrom is an
article.
American television series created by, for the streaming service Hulu, based on the Marvel Comics characters Damon and Santana Hellstrom.
Interesting.
Their last names have two L's, but the title has one
From
L.
2020. The
I
hell?
knew nothing about that.
Me neither.
Yeah,
So,
no idea.
Anyway, it was always going in this. We didn't really need to take that detour.
And then
But-
WandaVision.
Now, WandaVision. Let's talk
Good.
about WandaVision specifically and the Disney Plus series at large. I feel like they've largely been good, but
Yes.
they've been a bit inconsistent. One problem I had with a lot of them is that I looked at them as episodic shows, which is what I thought they were.
But a lot of
it turned
them
out they
don't
were
play
really
out
more,
like
they were
that.
really more like 6 to 10 hour movies that were just cut up into pieces, and so the pacing was a little off from what I expected from a weekly show, which is another reason maybe they should have just dropped them all at one time so you could binge watch them and really get the feel for them all. So some you really had to stick with to really get a good feel for them. But by and large, I think the series have all been pretty good. Some of them have been great, and there's been some really great moments in some of them. Some of them have been not so great. I feel like overall they've been a little inconsistent. And then you go ahead and say what you want to say, Bill.
I feel like WandaVision actually really works well as an episodic thing rather than viewing it as a fuller movie.
WandaVision does, you're right. Falcon and Winter Soldier is the second Disney Plus series, and that's the one I first noticed it on, and since then a lot of them have felt that way.
For WandaVision.
Maybe not every single one of them, but I said a lot of them. WandaVision did feel a little more episodic, and it's something that sort of was really good for the first 8 episodes. I think it was 10 episodes, and I feel like the last 2 were a real big letdown, so it drops it down for me. And I think it's something, too. They could have carried that conceit out for years. They could have done multiple seasons just on every show.
Funny thing, I think a lot of people actually didn't like them all. Just kind of, I don't know, like sitcom-y episodes and kind of liked them all.
But I feel like they could have carried that on for multiple seasons.
But I mean, those episodes were great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed WandaVision.
Well, we talked about those too in our WandaVision review that we did.
For me, I think
when it was fresh. It was like I said,
it ranks about 4 on my list of the series.
For the first 8 episodes or so, I would venture up toward great. The last 2 episodes, I feel like dropped the ball hard.
I give them a pretty high good.
I could not go any higher than good.
Like I don't know, maybe around Ant-Man.
So can I go behind Spider-Man? Because I feel like the first Spider-Man was better. Just because those last 2 episodes were such a letdown for me. It did do some really good stuff, and it introduced some characters I'm looking forward to. And introduced Monica Rambeau as Photon, or whatever her name's going to be in the MCU. So it did some really cool stuff, but it just, I feel like those last couple episodes dropped the ball.
Iron Man 2 or 3.
The trend.
That's Iron Man 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Average.
I don't know.
Not as good as the first one.
Yeah,
It's fine, but I would rank it a little bit lower than those first movies.
I would go back and watch Ant-Man and the Wasp before I would watch that, probably.
Also, I don't remember Iron Man 3.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, good series. It took a while to get going. Had some issues.
My favorite of the series.
Some of it, I think, came from the fact that apparently parts of it had to be rewritten. So I think that hurt it a little bit. And like I say, it was really more of a movie cut up into episodes. So some of the pacing of the episodes, you're like, that's a weird way to finish off there. But it was really strong overall.
I'd put it great.
It's definitely ahead of WandaVision. It's one of my favorite Disney Plus series. Not my favorite. Good. Probably, honestly, probably 4th. But that's because it's up ahead of it's really good. You think great for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yes.
I'd say good.
I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I put around the second.
Like I said, it's possibly my favorite of the series.
What if
maybe
I put it top of good? Are you really going to fight hard for great? If you're going to fight hard for great,
I'd like it in great.
Is it as good as Civil War?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty damn close. Civil War was slightly disappointing.
So good.
That you made the argument for me right now.
Okay.
Okay, Loki. Probably
that's my third favorite. Yeah.
Plus series. Great. Really good. Of course, I would put it ahead of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I would not.
I would. So get out of it. I put it ahead of freaking Age of Ultron. I'm probably getting Marvel.
I mean, like, Loki is one of my favorite characters, and I wouldn't put it above.
The Loki series is pretty good.
I don't fight too hard when we're in the same tier. Like, I feel like those are all pretty, that's the whole point of tiers rather than actual numerical ranking. I would probably put it ahead of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Honestly, Civil War should be ahead of Age of Ultron.
You gotta understand though, I was disappointed in it. It's one of those cases of expectations, you know. I felt like it didn't go as far or as hard as it could have. But I mean, I could live with that if you'll let me keep. Well, are you good? Well, you like Loki a lot, didn't you, Dylan? It's Alex.
Yeah, I like Loki.
You want that, don't you, Alex? This ahead of Loki. But you love Loki.
He's my favorite character, but that show was just so fucking good.
And Mr. Wow.
Loki's way better.
Wow, Loki, they're ranking our show.
Freaking Falcon and Soldier.
I mean, we're
I
still
love
got
Tom
Fuck
Hiddleston.
Loki.
I love Loki. I love we got Kid Loki, which is from my favorite comics, or one of my favorite comics. We got the Loki Gator. We got President Loki, another one of my favorites from the comics. We got Kang and whatnot. But I still
Kang was
say
great, even if
Falcon
the
and Soldier was
actors-
better.
Well, we're splitting hairs at this point. I mean, I really don't care which one goes in front of the other because I put them pretty close to each other. If it's me, I'm probably putting Loki ahead, but it also might depend on which one I've watched more recently.
Honestly, my only
On my personal ranking
that's the
of
movie
the
like Crossbones was
series,
in for like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
series
that's what
is Falcon and Soldier is 1 or 2. Loki is 3. So
Yeah, sorry, you're wrong.
you're wrong.
Well, look, they're in the same tier. They're right beside
Yeah.
each other. I don't want to spend too much. Once we have them in a tier, I don't want to spend that much time
Yeah.
arguing
Okay.
what goes ahead of what
still
in
have
the
a
tier.
very
'cause
long
that's sort of
list
the
to get
point of the
through.
tier.
How was that? What if?
Oh God, what
Yeah.
if this Marvel's
Good.
Tales from the Crypt? I was disappointed in it. I didn't.
It had
like
some highs and lows.
Honestly,
I
look,
enjoyed it.
I'm not gonna lie. If it's me, it's going here.
I'd put it at least below
It's
average.
better than Black Widow.
It was not good. No.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I feel like it's
least.
a totally different category than the MCU.
At least above Black Widow.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's totally fine.
I didn't. And,
Minimal.
and again, if you want to hear our expanded thoughts on this, we did an episode on this as well. So
I was gonna say,
Even
obviously,
though it's
some
ups and
episodes I was less
Minimal
into,
above
and
Black Widow.
as part of the
Widow is
MCU,
very
I'd have a lot
mid.
of questions. But
okay, if you want me to put ahead of Black Widow in the same tier, I will. But do you really want me to put it to average? Because I didn't even feel like it was average.
I'm fine with
If
it.
you really don't want to put it out,
I really
because
don't.
I'd put
Not
like
right
all of
now,
the animated
anyway.
stuff below an MCU thing.
You know, we can revisit it if you really want to. Let's let it marinate for a little while. But for now, I want to put it there because I really did not like it. But again, I mean, there were things I liked about it. It wasn't terrible. I just didn't think it was great. All right, something that was really good.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
Great.
It was at
Great,
least
really?
really good.
Above Falcon and Soldier.
I'd put above Doctor Strange, honestly.
I should put above
I'd put it
Doctor
right in
Strange.
the range of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I'm
I'd
willing to
it
put.
like-
I'm
I'd
willing
put
to
it
say
above
okay to
Falcon and
having it in
Soldier.
the same range.
It's just.
I'm saying if I'm comparing those two movies specifically, I would choose.
Come on, at least bring it up to
Well,
grade.
just let me make a couple
It's the
comments
low
on it.
push.
And I think we did a review of this as well. It was really good, but one problem I had with it is it just felt so disconnected from the MCU at large. It
did.
didn't. At that point, it feels like everything was so tied in, and this feels so separate, and we haven't even seen anything since then to tie it in.
I agree with
in
this.
a vacuum, it's really good, but considering it a Marvel movie, it's a little hard to
The
look at.
larger
And I
picture
do
we're
feel
still
like
waiting to see.
it had a good ending, but then its post credits with the
situation.
sister taking over everything felt a little specious. But I really did enjoy it. It was probably the best Marvel movie in between Endgame and this year's movies for me personally. So,
I'd say to push it up to grade.
I was trying to put it ahead of Doctor Strange, by the way. It clipped and
Just
I
give it
couldn't.
that little push up to grade.
I'm not going to argue hard against it, as long as you don't mind.
Even to that, I'm fine with.
Are you fine
I
with
like
that,
Strange.
Alex?
Yeah.
Okay, because it was
It's
really
cool.
good.
I like Strange.
Like I said, I feel like we kind of do need a very good category here, but I don't want to add too much more because there's still so much to go through.
Do you want to have to go through and change all those colors?
No, the original Thor.
High
I
good.
love, yes. It's part of those
Where did you say,
original
Dylan?
movies.
High good.
Yeah. Oh, I'd easily put it above everything in good. Everything.
If it were me, I probably wouldn't put it any higher than this on good.
Yeah. I won't fight that.
If
I don't remember the main villain of the original though.
if you want to, Alex is death staring Gaba right now.
I just
I love the fact that I use the names Alex and Gaba when on the podcast you're usually Lexi and Dylan. So random people walked in the show and are death staring each other. Look, I know you're a big Thor stan.
Obviously.
I know you'd love for Chris Hemsworth to make you Thor.
the original though isn't as good as the latest.
You are now getting that stared.
But
I'd probably rank it like
but it's definitely good. It's in the good category.
3, 4,
I will
1,
s-
2.
I will
That's good, though.
accept good as long as it's at the top.
My
Because I would
rankings
easily
are 3,
put it
4,
above
1,
everything
2.
else.
Well, I'm not going to argue too. Like if there's something I really want to argue for, I'll argue for it. That's not one I really want to argue.
And to me,
for.
that's just one of the classic, really, really good
Gabby, you have the
MCU
best
movies.
eyesight. Is this the original Captain America?
And it's like
or
the
is this Winter
third one I
Soldier?
watched.
I think that's the poster for Winter Soldier, is it not? I thought the original. What's the Winter Soldier poster?
I can't see. I'm sorry. It's too small. Alex is literally right up on the screen and she can't tell.
I feel as though that's supposed to say First Avenger.
Okay, don't
It's
worry.
just- it's very
don't worry. I can
pixelated.
tell you, right over there next to Iron Man is Winter Soldier.
Great.
Good. Well, so this is the original Cap, which is still really good though. Honestly, again, if there was a very good category, I would put it in very good. Since there's not, I want to put it in great.
I would find that.
Are you good with that, Alex?
Sure.
I'll put it at the end of great. But
All the Captain America movies.
Okay.
Honestly,
Now,
when I
ahead.
first watched more of the MCU movies, like after Iron Man, when I actually first started getting into the MCU, I would have ranked First Avenger very low. When we watched it, I liked it more though.
Honestly, none of the Captain America movies are amazing, but they're all great.
Going into it, I thought it was one I was going to like less, even though Cap is one of my favorite characters, because it's obviously dealing with his backstory and not in the modern MCU. But it's really good.
It is good.
Even Falcon and Winter Soldier is only great.
Now, to be fair, I would still put Thor above it, but...
Okay.
Cap is cool.
Cap's one of my favorites.
That was one of my favorites.
Cap and T'Challa were my favorites, and they're both gone now. And Hawkeye.
Sorry.
I don't even know who my favorite is, who we've got left.
I know my current favorites. And to be fair, my original favorites are still around, so...
But, anyway, back to the list, and one of the absolute best MCU
the greatest.
movies. I don't
Not
think...
as good as Endgame.
I don't think
I don't know.
I don't think I would put it ahead of Endgame
but...
at this point, but it's definitely the top tier.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Endgame is only as good
It's
as
one
it
of
is
the top
because
10
of stuff like
movies.
Avengers.
It is,
That
but
is
it's
true.
but it also, I mean, even though it is built on that stuff, I mean, that stuff existed, so obviously stuff's going to come before you.
Yeah.
Even if you build yourself on the shoulders of other greats, it doesn't mean you can't still be great yourself. And I think
Black Panther.
Do what?
Put below Black Panther.
You want Avengers below Black Panther?
Yes.
I'm okay with it, because like these four right here, until recently, this is my top tier. Nothing else goes up here. Until, spoilers, something coming up.
I won't fight for it below Ragnarok, but I will fight for it below
wait
Black
for it.
Panther.
There's something that's going to jump in it. But for the longest time, I guess it was this one was top tier. And then, these came in, and then this. This is the top tier to me. These are the absolute peak of Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And then
Iron Man 3.
Average, I guess. I don't know.
Whatever Iron Man 2 is.
Yeah, neither one of those are particularly
I watched them, and that was that.
I mean, I could honestly be persuaded to put either one of those in the below average, but I'm not going to.
I don't know if they go as far as below average.
Thor: The Dark
They're not
World,
bad.
in a lot of people's opinion, one of the absolute worst Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. It's the first one we saw together in the theaters.
Yes.
One of the first MCU movies I saw, period.
A
And
third
I think
movie.
it's totally fine.
I think it's worse than the
You know that
original,
poster right there?
Still
I don't know that I still have it. I had that poster on my wall for a while.
I'll put it in good.
I'm
Well, I
willing to
can't,
do
man.
that. It's below the first third, maybe.
I'm anywhere in there is fine.
I think it's one of the lower thirds,
Now-
but still good.
One of the biggest talking points when it comes to MCU mistakes, I think, has to be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. A very polarizing decision by Kevin Feige to uncanonize this. It was a really good
Fuck
series.
Kevin Feige.
I guess his existence was sort of polarizing to begin with, though, because it came with the resurrection of Coulson, and that was such an iconic moment, his death in the Avengers.
I mean...
But it's a really good series.
honestly, if that series didn't exist, we wouldn't be doing this show.
And for whatever issues Joss Whedon has
So
personally,
this episode.
as a writer and filmmaker, this is some of his best work. It harkens back to his work on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the series. Has a lot of the same beats, and it's really good.
Put it in amazing. Put it in fucking amazing.
Now,
I mean,
Goblin,
I
you might
can't
have to
fight
be the
that because I
tiebreaker
haven't
here.
seen it.
You haven't seen it, so you're not hit.
I haven't
Put
seen
it in
much of
amazing.
it.
No. It
It's
goes
not-
up.
I-
Yes, no, it goes up. It goes up. I do not care. It
To
goes
be
up.
honest, if it was me, I'd put it in good.
You haven't seen it!
I've seen a little bit of it.
I mean, I think great is fine.
Look, maybe it fell off in the latest seasons that
Of
we
what I've seen
unfortunately never
is
got
not-
around to watching. But of everything we saw, it's going in amazing.
Are you gonna fight
Avoid-
that? Are you gonna fight that hard?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time fighting you.
I was going to say, I would not be sitting here doing this.
It would
if
not be
wasn't for
part
that
of
show.
my top tier, but this is a group effort. So unless
Of what-
you're really against it, Gob.
Wait a second. Didn't you say that Agent Carter was around the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. rankings?
Relatively.
Where do we have Agent?
Relatively. Meanwhile, it's all the way down in good. I don't think that's around the same
I
day.
should say really quickly that I did misspeak. I mean, MCU specific, those were my top four. There was a fifth movie in the top tier, if you include the wider Marvel Cinematic Universe, and before the recent edition. So for me, there's six that stand above everything because we're getting to it soon.
Okay.
But I'll talk more about it when we get there.
But I mean, I would literally trade all of the Disney series to have
Of what I've seen,
Agents of
almost
S.H.I.E.L.D.
every
canon
Disney
again.
series is better than Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, you're wrong.
Sorry, no.
This is Winter Soldier.
That's what Papa said.
Yeah, it should be.
Winter Soldier's great.
I love
Slightly
Bucky.
better than the original.
It's way above the original. It is. It was the second MCU movie we saw in theaters, and for a while it was like my second favorite behind Avengers. It was really.
I'm putting
good.
not bad then. Was it?
No, but I mean, I'd go that high on it. I like it better than Civil War.
How many watch hours are there in the entire MCU? Currently canon
lot.
MCU,
Why
including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't know. Why?
Because I just want to go through and watch all the movies.
Okay, here's where we're going to have a little bit of an issue.
At least Pullman good, please.
God knows I'm not a big fan of the original. It's totally good. And when I saw it at the time before there was an MCU, that was a really good movie. I mean, it was a little disappointing. Like, it could have done better, but it was a really good movie. Considering everything that's come since,
I love that
so much of it blows it away.
I think the MCU has improved, but I'm going to go with Dylan. It's the first, it's the classic,
At least
it's the
put in that
original.
little man
It
area
kickstarted
good
this.
with Spider-Man.
If that movie had
and
failed,
Iron Man.
we would have.
At least put
here
that.
if you want me to. I'm totally fine.
I'm good with that. I'm just begging for it at this point.
Yes.
I mean, I push both though. He's cooler in every way, but
He's a billionaire playboy.
You two can fight this out. You two can fight this out at the end if we have time.
I mean, yeah,
Because at this point, I don't even know if we're going to get to a quiz, because this list is holy shit. What? That looks like fucking Chelsea Handler or something in the middle of this. What the fuck is that?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Anyway, we'll get on to it. Okay, Eternals, another polarizing movie, but another one I thought was totally fine. I enjoyed it more than Black Widow.
Yes.
I enjoyed it more than Inhumans. I enjoyed it more than
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I enjoyed it more than Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. I enjoyed it more than Spider-Man: No Way Home.
I don't know.
I thought it was totally good. It wasn't great,
To me,
but to me, it's good. I'll put it in good, unless y'all really want to fight for average.
Good.
Eternals, it was good. I'll go with good. I've had mixed feelings. Like, it's good. I enjoy it. But because we were at the start of the new phase and everything, it's just so separate.
And it does suffer from some of the same things that Shang-Chi does. And I think
it did remind me of
Shang-Chi
other things.
is a better movie.
But you know that one
I think it's totally good. Yeah, I heard they're not going forward anymore. That they're done with him. They don't want to pay for it. They were going to do a spin-off series or movie, but they don't want to pay for it now because of the cutbacks.
God damn it.
Speaking of series, Hawkeye, really good series.
Yes.
Good Christmas series, as a matter of fact.
You know, Christmas is coming up.
Good.
This is probably my second favorite MCU Disney Plus series. So, I mean, for me, it's got to go up here.
I put Loki above it personally, but I'm fine.
Well, it's my computer.
I was gonna say,
so.
I don't know, I did really like it.
Nobody wants to argue that it's lower than that tier, though. Like I said, the most important thing is that it's in
I
the
don't
proper
argue that
tier.
it's lower than that tier.
I mean, we can go back and forth.
I would put it below Falcon and Loki, but
and argue which one goes over which. But at least
I'm okay
we
with
need
it
to get
if
them in the
not
right tier. It should be our main goal.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, I love how you demanded for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to be amazing. Meanwhile, I just merely begged for Iron Man to at least be good.
Which is not you. You normally want to go toe-to-toe with me and argue and debate.
Yeah, but I knew you'd probably be like, I have blow happen.
Look, I was like, I don't give a fuck what y'all's opinions are.
Before we get too deep into this, can I just put this where I would put it if it were just me?
I can't see what it is.
It's Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay.
And it's like, I know Iron Man isn't great or amazing. I just really like it.
I'm just saying. Now, it's a little tough because of what we already put in the category. I would put them in a different... So I'm just talking what tier I would put it in, okay?
Okay.
I put it with at least the other
I did not like this movie. It had... The interaction between the three Spider-Mans was really good. But other than that, I thought the movie was not good.
I enjoyed it.
At least put it with the other Spider-Man. It was good.
Yeah.
Okay, but can I put it below the other Spider-Man within the tier?
Put like in the middle. Put it like the
I'll accept that.
Okay.
I thought it was good. And I mean, I love
We're going to piss enough people off just putting it below Dark World, so I'm fine with that. Did we do a review of that? I don't think we did. We may have mentioned it on something. I just was not a fan of it.
Commentary of
honestly,
it?
that might be my favorite Spider-Man movie.
We usually do
When's
those.
its anniversary?
I was going to say, 2021, so...
Personally, I think that...
like the 2-year anniversary of it.
Personally, I think that's my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Nah, I like Far From Home better. Well, no, it's not. I don't think it is. I think we all have the same favorite Spider-Man movie. I think you're talking MCU Spider-Man.
Yes.
Okay. We'll get there, though. Venom, haven't seen it.
Correct.
Would like to.
Yes.
Looks good, but it's got to go in the...
We should see it eventually.
Spider-Man
Another
3
Spider-Man.
is one of the...
I've not seen it.
That's the only Tobey Maguire one that I have not seen. So,
Very nice.
can't rank it.
Very nice that you haven't seen it.
But this is Spider-Man 2, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I have not
I
seen
believe
it.
so.
Which is the better of the two Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. But they're both totally good.
Which Spider-Man
This is all up to you.
Of the 3 live-action movie ones.
The actual Spider-Man or just the movie?
The actual Spider-Man.
I do like Tobey a lot, I'm not gonna lie, but I like Tom Holland too. I haven't seen Andrew Garfield's movies. I've only seen him in No Way Home. So.
Honestly, I want to see all the older Spider-Man movies.
But look, if we're ranking MCU, it's not as good as the current MCU movies.
Okay.
But at the same time,
So below average?
But at the same time, it's better than what we have in below average. So I've got to go average.
Average, okay. Just low average.
Venom is going to have to go into haven't seen. This is Venom 2, I realize.
Yeah, let there be carnage.
Would like to.
Yeah.
Venom was one of my favorite characters in the comic books. This is the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. It's going to go right here, too. Because it's really not... I like the second one better, but the first one's really good. And it was a great comic book movie for its time. It has been far surpassed by what has come after, but for the time, it was really top tier. I've been amazing these are 2 Andrew Garfield movies, and I haven't seen them. Have either one of y'all?
No.
Okay, so that's
I'd like
going to go
to.
here. And Moon
But I
Knight.
believe both of y'all would like to as well.
Maybe. There's a lot of movies to see.
I
Moon Knight was
Moon Knight.
very separate from the rest of the MCU.
I like the very end of the series. It was really good, and the rest of it was eh.
I put above Black Widow at least.
I enjoyed it.
I would definitely put it below average.
I honestly would at least put it up.
Not at the same time.
Yeah, honestly, I put it.
I would put it ahead of What If. So I mean, this is still putting it ahead of What If. So I'll live with that.
Okay.
I mean, Moon Knight.
enjoyed Moon Knight.
At least his design stuff is really
It was
cool.
a fun show.
Morbius.
Relatively.
None of us have seen.
Morbius, the greatest movie of all time.
This is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, right?
I don't.
Probably. I put it at least below average.
Nope.
Not even.
Nope.
You do you.
I will die on this hill right here. These are the absolute worst 2 Marvel movies, and I'm not sure.
You know,
which
I'll
one
be
I
honest.
like
Doctor
less.
Strange is just not a high-ranking character on my list, so I don't rank the Doctor
No, he's
Strange movies very high on my list.
Look, if this was Iron Man, and I hated Iron Man this much, I would give you more on it. But I know, and I gave you the first Doctor Strange where you wanted it.
Look,
and I like that movie.
Doctor
It's really
Strange
good.
isn't my vibe. Like, he's
This
cool,
movie
but
is
he's not my
got
vibe.
This movie is not. So,
Okay.
is this one you really want to fight on?
I won't fight that hard.
Because I hate that movie. Look, wait, I'll give you this. I'll give you that much.
I feel like no matter how hard I fight,
You gotta put it in humans
I
back.
can't. I'll give you that much.
Humans not that good.
I would rather go back and watch Inhumans 10 times than watch.
I don't
Doctor Strange:
want
The
to watch
Multiverse of
Humans
Madness
one
again.
time.
I hate that movie. The only thing that makes this worse is that we paid $50 to see it in IMAX when we could have watched it on TV a week later.
We didn't. Did they even continue watching Humans?
Nope.
They
Miss
get
Marvel.
canceled
This is
one
my
season.
Miss Marvel. This is my favorite.
Yeah.
Disney Plus. Hold on.
Yeah,
I
it's
got,
really-
I got
it's
to
really-
Either it or Falcon and
It's definitely
Soldier
better than
are my
Agents of
favorite.
I have to scroll.
So it
up.
has. She's literally my favorite character, and I would not agree with that.
Yeah, that's.
And like that series is very well done for a character, and I still would not agree with it.
I feel like there's your nostalgia speaking, like my nostalgia.
I don't give 2 fucks if it's nostalgia speaking.
I don't think it's amazing. I think it's great, though. I
Yes.
think this is where it belongs. It's on top of the series to me, and these are the best of the series. Where do we put WandaVision? Oh, there.
Right below it.
A
Yeah,
tier. below.
WandaVision is like our lowest rated. Disney
And the thing is, it
Plus
started out
Oh,
so
no,
good.
Moon
I
Knight is.
loved the early WandaVision.
Moon Knight is.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now here's the
Well,
one.
technically, What If is.
True.
Yeah, here's the one that I made a couple of allusions to. This is, I think,
Amazing.
everybody's favorite Spider-Man movie.
Probably.
First off,
And also the other movie that belonged in the very top tier, even though it's not, it's a little more MCU adjacent.
Yeah.
Although stuff in the recent Across the Spider-Verse make it seem like it's definitely a little more canon in the MCU. What with Donald Glover's Prowler showing up.
I
in it.
feel like it's not exactly canon to the MCU, but like they have permission to refer to the MCU.
it's not canon to the MCU, but the MCU is canon to it.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, more like that.
The character, I mean, he played Uncle Aaron in the first Spider-Man movie, so I feel like that universe is canon to a degree.
I agree with Dylan.
But regardless, absolutely fantastic movie. I can't put it necessarily ahead of Endgame. I don't know. Again, it's kind of like, what mood are you in, you know?
Yeah,
So, but it's in the amazing tier.
definitely.
Are you good with that, Dill? Do I need to adjust it?
Oh, it's definitely amazing.
Well, yeah, I know, but do I need to sit here and fine tune this, or
Nah.
are we just good where they are?
I'm good.
No, everything.
Miles
From,
Morales is my favorite Spider-Man. Also,
everything from
Really?
Yeah, he's just cool though.
everything from right here up. I mean, this is the creme de la creme of the MCU.
Who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Oh, I don't know.
The Spider character.
I know. I just haven't spent that much time reading or watching. I mean, I'm kind of partial to Peter because that's the
Ghost Spider
that's the Spider-Man I grew up
Miles
with.
has a cooler suit, cooler powers.
Look, my
only exposure to anything other than original Peter Parker is what I've seen in Spider-Verse.
I really like Gwen's character and character design. I really like I don't know what I was about to say. But also, she's part of one of the teams I really like from the comics and an animated series and whatnot. So,
Real quick, who's your favorite Spider-Man? Miles,
Peter, Gwen.
Ghost Spider.
any others?
My favorite is the robot one.
The robot one?
Penny Parker? Okay.
Okay.
Robot.
Alright.
I didn't know he liked Penny Parker that much. I mean, I like Penny Parker.
How familiar was he with her prior to the most recent movie? Honestly?
No idea.
Okay, another one of the
What's this?
pandemic era MCU films, Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm not putting. I'm just working.
Why
up
could
on-
I not recognize that image?
I'm not putting it any place yet. I have to scroll up to get to the tier,
Yeah.
so I just want to get it up so I can work with it.
Honestly, it's better than the
No
first
Thor
two
movie
Thors.
has been bad.
This is another one we did a review of. Honestly, it's probably my least favorite Thor movie, though. So I don't think I can put
I
it
thought it was pretty
above.
good.
It definitely had issues, though.
I
It still has to at least be in the good tier, though.
I'm totally fine with that.
I feel like it was better than the
least,
first two.
Can I at least put it like here?
That's fine.
It's in the same
To me.
tier as
Can
the
you put
first
above
two.
Dark World?
I really don't want to.
I
I mean, it did have some cool moments, so if you really want to, I'm
That's
not
like my
gonna that
second
much.
favorite.
It has, and again, we did a review of this. You can go back and check out the archives to
do
get our
it for
full
best.
thoughts on it. It was a swing and a miss, though, kind of. I honestly feel like they should have given Thor: Love and Thunder to Sam Raimi, and they should have given Multiverse of Madness to Taika Waititi, and those movies would have been 100 times better.
Possibly.
But anyway, I'm not familiar with Gifted at all. Are you guys?
No idea.
No, I haven't seen it.
I don't know what that next thing is.
Me neither.
Legion.
Nope.
Nope, no idea.
I've heard of it, but I know nothing about it.
That's a X-Men movie.
Yeah, I don't.
Is it A or N?
It's X-Men.
I'm not even sure what I think this is the first X-Men movie, which is the only one I've seen.
Okay.
So
I don't know
any
what's
other
X-Men.
X-Men movie we can just throw down here and they haven't seen.
Okay.
And that's like Dark Phoenix or whatever.
Yep. Has anybody seen New Mutants?
Nope.
No.
Yeah. Look, the first X-Men movie is totally good, and again, for the time, it was a really good comic book movie. I'm sure some of what came.
I didn't care about comic books.
I don't even know if you were born when it came out, Alex.
Okay then.
I have to check the date to be sure, but it was close. And a lot of what's come afterwards looks totally worth seeing. Just, there's a lot of movies to see, and you only got so much time, especially once you have kids. And I got a lot of kids.
You have 3.
That's a lot. That's 4 if you count Marcus.
It's a fuzz.
That's
Debatably a lot.
My parents had 1.
True. It's relatively a lot. It could also not be much. Be on the lower end of a lot.
Anyway, another movie.
You try to find time for 4 kids. I mean, I've only had 3 in the house at one time.
That
You
is
try to
bad.
find time for that many kids and see how many movies you get around to watching. Deadpool 2 was really good.
Wait.
Deadpool's great. That looks
Well,
good.
Deadpool 2 happened to come up first on the list. I know that makes no sense, but
I'm just saying Deadpool is enjoyable. I like it.
it's a little hard for me to think about it in context as far as where it relates to the other MCU movies because it wasn't really MCU until now, and it still feels like it's a little outside the MCU.
Look,
with
I need to
Deadpool
see
4
Deadpool. In
No.
the MCU.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying as far as trying to figure out where it fits in here amongst the other movies. I can't really accurately say, well,
Yeah.
I'm just fine getting it in the great tier. I'm not saying it's the worst of the great. I'll be fine to move it up ahead of a few things if you want.
Just move it out back, Captain America.
I'm just saying, it's great, and that's about the best I can do.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, this is Dark Phoenix. I don't know what the
that's
hell that
not-
other thing was.
Oh, I don't know.
The
I
other
thought
one
that was
that's
Dark Phoenix.
similar to
Okay,
Dark
this is the
Phoenix.
first X-Men movie I saw. The only X-Men. movie.
How's it compared to the Spider-Man movies?
I think it's pretty much in line with the original Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
So I think we got to go. It's probably better than Moon Knight, honestly.
I'd probably choose Moon Knight, but
And then
But
another
you haven't
one.
seen it.
Yeah, what is X-Men?
But you haven't. X-Men are like the most popular Marvel property in the 90s.
Sorry, I
X-Men
prefer
was the shit.
Avengers.
Spider-Man.
When I was a kid, Spider-Man and the X-Men, and for me, Punisher, that's top tier.
I
How
don't really care
much-
for the X-Men that much.
And there's a
Other
reason.
than
There's a
top
reason that X-Men were one of the first properties they made into a movie.
I understand that.
But I care for X-Men more than I care for Fantastic Four.
I think if you got a really good X-Men
I probably agree with
you would
that.
really enjoy it.
Speaking of, I
I was actually going to say when we first saw Deadpool 2.
Well, you know,
list.
it probably should be here since the X-Men movies are, but it's not actual MCU, and I've only seen the first one, so I think, did I see the first one? I feel like I did, but regardless, I'm fine with it not being here, even though, yeah, of course, it should be, but it's not proper MCU, so I'm fine with it not being here.
Have y'all heard the rumors about Deadpool 3?
Wait, why'd you leave that?
Yeah,
What happened?
Can you move Deadpool?
You brought it up and then you just left it there.
Because we got off on a tangent. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to.
Why below Deadpool 2?
Really? I put it above.
I as long as they're together.
I mean,
in my
Deadpool 2
opinion.
has that whole X-Force and everything, and it's cool.
Yeah, but I mean, they're both totally good.
Have y'all heard the rumors about Deadpool 3 though?
Oh, what about it?
I just the only thing I've heard about it is that Jackman's in it playing Wolverine.
Yeah, I've heard that, but that's known. This is just a rumor and speculation that there's a chance that there could be an appearance by Taylor Swift in it.
Anyway,
She
this
does
is like a
acting.
Disney
They
Plus
did Harry
short.
Styles.
So this is like a Disney
I
Plus
could see them
short,
doing
I think.
it.
Team Thor, but I didn't watch it.
I don't know
Did you?
what that is.
No.
So we're just gonna have to put this in the unseen.
But honestly, now with what you said about Harry Styles, I'm saying
You
like,
guys familiar with
No
this?
idea what
Slingshot?
Slingshot is.
no, I think I heard of it.
And I didn't even know Chelsea Lately was an MCU show. So that's going. Now, what is this with Agent Carter again? Did they just put 2 Agent Carters on here for some
Another
reason?
Carter thing.
It says Marvel
Can't
Cinematic Universe on it. And then I can't even tell what that says. Can
That
you
like
guys?
that like a short film thing? Because I see All Hail the King, and that was like a little short film thing, and it also has the cinematic universe.
Yeah. Have you seen this, Alex?
No.
So- okay, so it really doesn't matter.
And I
what it
assume
is.
Thor's Hammer that was the same thing.
And this the consultant. Nobody's seen that, have they?
Nope.
Okay. And then item 47. Anybody seen that?
No.
Why's my thing working weirdly? Okay. So we're getting down here to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Peter's to-do list, some other
Nope.
short that we haven't seen. Now, we have seen I Am Bruce.
Yeah. Good.
Season 2 of that, I think, is either out now or coming out soon.
Comes out next month, I believe.
I mean, it doesn't have much to it, but
It's just fun
cute.
little shorts. Like, I think I would be...
It's good.
Because they're so short and because they're so inconsequential, by and large, I was going to say I was going to put an average, but it can go in good.
I love good.
You okay with that, Alex?
Yeah.
I haven't
Another
seen
little cinematic universe one. Oh yeah, that's the thing with the fake Mandarin.
that. Yeah.
Okay, I have a feeling this is going to be somewhat polarizing for us as a group. Let me work it up. Hold on, I need to scroll up. I'm not putting it in haven't seen. Obviously, we saw it. We did a whole series of episodes on it. I enjoyed it.
I played
By and large.
good.
I didn't like the ending. I thought it was kind of a hot mess, and some of the fourth wall breaking got a little. I don't want to say cringy, and I know Deadpool does it, and I know they do it in the comics, but I still feel like that stuff works better in the comics because there's so many different comics properties, and this is supposed to be a little bit more united front.
Uh-huh.
So I had some issues with it. Like I said, we detailed them on the episode, or I don't remember if we did this as a serial review on YouTube, or if we actually did this as just one long episode. But even if we did it serialized, I'm sure we did a whole compendium at some point, but we did review it. You can check that out in the archives.
It was good.
It was probably my second least favorite series. Like, I liked it better than Moon Knight, but I don't know how much more.
Put like right below WandaVision.
Can I put it below? Can I just put it at the bottom of good?
I mean, if you wanna.
Yeah, it was
That's
fine. That means I'm gonna put it ahead of Agent Carter if I put it up there. I don't know how Lexi would feel about that.
Should probably
I
kill you.
disagree. I
I
think.
mean, again, I don't want to argue. If it's in the right tier, other than very certain circumstances, I'm not gonna fight too much.
Honestly, I enjoyed She-Hulk. I didn't really have any problems. I just rank it lower as a personal
This
preference
is
sort
this
of
is
thing.
the werewolf. I think it was called something werewolf, but I can't.
I have no
Well,
idea what that is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Didn't see
I
it.
literally
So
just talked about it.
Thought
with someone,
about
but no, I
seeing it,
haven't
but
seen
never
it
got
either.
around to it. Really quickly before we get there, also Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special we haven't seen, and I probably won't watch it till December. So, all right, Wakanda Forever. I'm assuming it doesn't say much, but that's got to be what it is since we already have the original Black Panther.
It's totally fine.
Good.
Yeah, nowhere near as good as the first one,
Yeah.
but not bad at all. And again, I don't know. It'd probably go ahead of some of these. I probably liked it better than Love and Thunder when it comes
I'd
right
probably
down
put
to
above
it.
Ant-Man.
I'm fine with that. I don't. have any real skin in the game.
It's like I got nothing against Ant-Man, but it's above Ant-Man.
Speaking of Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania, I really liked this movie. I came into it with fairly low expectations, and also it's a little harder to enjoy it considering some of the off-screen antics of Jonathan Majors and Evangeline Lilly. Mm-hmm. But as far as just in a vacuum and within the MCU, this movie was great.
Yes.
And it was full of fantastic performances.
Yes.
I easily think this is the best of the Ant-Man movies. I'm not necessarily going to put it top tier, and it's not as good as the next one we're going to get to. But if y'all want to argue, I'm not opposed to moving it, but I really like this.
Yeah, I'd probably put a high good, low great.
Because and again, I've seen it once. If I go back and watch some more, I might say maybe not. But
I'm excited about the book.
It's like my biggest complaint is kind of MODOK. It's like I
think what they did with MODOK was fucking brilliant. Because MODOK was always going to look ridiculous, and they made it a joke, but also tied it into previous movies and gave him a little bit of redemption.
Yeah,
I think it was brilliant.
I think Dylan just wishes they would have left MODOK.
Maybe MODOK should have been left in the pile.
I enjoyed the movie.
Hey, look,
I have mixed feelings on it.
At least now they've done it, and you don't have to worry about them coming
what
back.
I'm waiting to see in the MCU.
I have mixed feelings on MODOK. It's like, there were some good moments, but also it's like, just the entire time, it's like, he looks like he should not be there.
I have to enjoy anything that sets up what I'm looking for.
But I feel like the movie was full of... some people say it was too big of a story, and they tried too much to build this fantastic world. It leaned into like Star Wars territory or something. That you shouldn't do that in the MCU. But I actually thought it was a pretty focused story, and like I think the performances carried it. I mean,
I enjoyed it a lot.
You just threw me off.
I apologize.
Paul Rudd. I couldn't remember his name for a second. Paul Rudd, Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Douglas, and again, regardless of what you think of him outside of acting, and I understand any poor feelings towards him in that regard, but just on screen, Jonathan Majors was great, both in Loki and in this movie, and I understand why we're probably not going to see any more of him beyond Loki Season 2, and that's totally understandable, and I'm not saying, wow, they should give him another chance. But again, just in a vacuum, the performance was fantastic.
Yes.
Katie O'Brien was really good. Not Paul, what's the first name?
Don't ask me.
Definitely don't ask me.
I can't tell you.
He played the little Uzi guy, and he was one of Ant-Man's friends.
I still don't know.
Das Malshane is his last name. I can't remember his first name.
I could easily find it.
You could, and you're just sitting there staring at me, making me just...
I figured you might want to try figuring it out.
Flapping around. Is it David Das Malshane?
I don't know. Let's find out.
It might be, but... all the performance, the bigger roles and the smaller roles were all really good. I thought for just a minute it started to veer off into
yes, David.
Okay, I thought it started to veer off a little too much into satire with Michael Douglas talking about the journey that his ants had gone on. But when they saved the day, that was such a badass moment. I mean, I can forgive it.
I love the ants.
Great movie. I really enjoyed. Like I say, since Endgame, I've been very disappointed in the MCU by and large. Like I say,
I've assumed / felt it's just because it's at a shifting point.
That is part of it, but I do think it's been a little directionless, and I haven't liked the direction they've chosen to go in. Far From Home was good, but then Black Widow was a disappointment. Shang-Chi was good, but like I say, it felt too removed. Eternals was a slight disappointment. I really didn't like Spider-Man No Way Home. I hated Multiverse of Madness. I have mixed feelings toward Love and Thunder. The series have been pretty good, but uneven. So I've been really down on the MCU, and Ant-Man and Wasp and Quantumania is the first of the stuff that really started rebuilding my faith in the MCU.
Yeah, I'm hoping with stuff like mainly Shang-Chi and Eternals and stuff like that, they're going to be a lot greater as the stuff moves on and we start to see more and more of it like coming together and whatnot, you know?
But speaking of great...
Actually, real quick, I just wanted to say, I looked it up, and there's a chance that I have seen that other Agent Carter thing. I just have no memory of it. Like, I read it, and it's like, that sounds like something.
That's really poor timing. You could have said...
I was trying to say it before we moved on, though.
Anyway, take two. Speaking of great, for as much as I hate Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I absolutely loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We saw this like 2 days after we saw Quantumania.
Definitely better than Quantumania.
And wait a minute, yeah, and I didn't think I was going to like it as much, especially because I had such mixed feelings. Not even mixed feelings. I had such aberrance and, such a distaste for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I was willing to give this a chance, but I did not have high hopes, and I loved this movie. I think this is one of the absolute best MCU movies of all time.
It was good.
I wouldn't put it above Infinity War, but
It's really... Well, I go back and forth on Infinity War, too. Like, sometimes I think it's top tier, sometimes I think it's just below. So if you want me to move Infinity War, I will, but I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. If you will...
I'm not going to fight you.
I was going to say, if you will permit me, it belonged in the top tier for me. I thought it was so good as a movie, and it was so refreshing to see just an unambiguous villain, too. Mm-hmm. I can't think of the actor's name, but he was in Peacemaker as well, so apparently he and James Gunn have a connection, but he was fantastic as the foil in this movie. Like, somebody like Thanos was a great villain, and I thought he was an unambiguous villain, but so many people are like, well, Thanos had a point. Well, maybe, but his methods for going about solving the problem that he saw were definitely villainous. Mm-hmm. And he was, megalomaniacal and felt like he was the only one who could shape things to be the right way, sort of like they're setting up with Kang, but people still want to argue, oh, maybe Thanos was right, but I don't think you can argue that with this villain at all. What was his name in the movie?
I don't remember.
The creator, the higher power, the supreme intelligence, something like that.
I don't know.
But this movie
Something
was just
like
and it almost seemed like it was going to veer into the silly territory that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 did at first, especially with some of the production design for when they went to like the colony of the company where they had to go to get the information to help save Rocket.
Yeah.
But I can live with that because you're trying to create a fantastical world. And there's always been some of that otherworldliness to Guardians of the Galaxy, considering it takes place off-world so much. But they really seem to rein it in and go far, far away from the silliness that was found in the second movie. And like I said, I don't have a problem with humor. All the best MCU movies have humor in them.
Yes.
And it was used so much better in this. And it was such a great mix of humor and action and emotion. And of course, with James Gunn, you're going to get a fantastic soundtrack as well. And everything played so well in this. I was so jazzed for this movie.
And also had the first F-bomb, I believe.
Oh, that was the funniest moment in the movie, too, when he's trying to explain to Nebula how to open the old school car door. And you push the button. No, you're pushing the keyhole. What? Push the button. I push the button. What now? Then open the fucking door! Oh my god. That was the funniest moment in the movie.
Yeah, and Rocket's whole story is really good.
Yeah, I love that movie. It was great. It was
badass.
I think bittersweet is a better way to put it. Definitely sad, but
I'd say like the entire story.
Also,
but just his backstory felt so sad to me.
Yeah.
Although he clawed that dude's face off.
But he came out okay in the end. And yeah, that scene where they sneak the weapons in and Groot, and then he pops out with like six.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was badass.
Love that movie. Love that scene. Love that movie. Love it, love it, love it. That's the newest entry into the top tier of the MCU for me. I don't even know what this is.
And it's like everyone got their moment in that movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know we were still talking about it.
I apologize.
I'm fine to keep talking about it. I just didn't know we were still talking
Is that like the re-edited Deadpool one? Like
it says no good deed. Deadpool no good deed.
Then no.
So I don't even know what that is.
I want to see that other Deadpool thing, like
where they edited it down to be like PG-13. What's wrong, Lexi?
Nothing, I'm counting.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of movies and TV shows. It's mainly series, but it's all the X-Men movies as well, and some of the Sony Spider-Man movies. Well, the Venom movies, technically. And the Amazing Spider-Man. And the
That's 40
Spider-Man
movies
too.
right there.
Okay.
And series. They're not all movies.
That's 40 MCU related things.
Really quickly, let's eliminate these two Spider-Man series here because we haven't seen them and get down.
I mean,
to
they're probably good, but
and also the other two more recent entries.
And to be fair, there's at least like 2 things on our ranking that I personally have not seen.
now the final 2.
Let me go with Secret Invasion first. Another one of the Disney Plus series. Uneven like some of the others, paced a little weirdly for a series. Slightly disappointing because I was expecting this really good, espionage thriller, and we didn't get as much of that as I thought, but we did get Sam Jackson's Nick Fury, which I love. We did get at least a good bit of Talos in it. I was sorry to see him die, but I thought his death scene was really beautifully done.
Yes.
I thought Gravik was another one of those really good villains where he's really a villain. He does have an angle that makes sense to him, but even if you buy some of his reasoning, his methods are completely wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with Gaia getting all those powers at the end, because for one thing, we don't even know the extent of her powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've literally seen her fight one person.
Her body could easily reject that. There could easily be limits on that just haven't been explained yet. So I don't think it's necessarily a problem going forward. So while I was slightly disappointed in the series, I still enjoyed it immensely and thought it was very good. I do have some issues about the Rhodey arc and the thought that maybe he's been a Skrull since Civil War.
I feel like he hasn't been a Skrull that long.
Here's the thing. I know a lot of people are basing on the fact that he was in a hospital gown, and that would have been around the time of Civil War when he had the injury.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, he could have been in a hospital gown some other time. The Skrulls could have put him in there for experimenting on him or whatever. That's not enough. But I think the director of the series has pretty much all but confirmed that, yeah, that's the storyline they're going with. And that does...
I hate that.
Yeah, that does. It fucks up Endgame immensely.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been officially confirmed on screen, so there's always time to change that. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, and I do hate losing Talos because I really liked the performance, but, you know, it was a beautiful death if you're going to have one, so... I did enjoy the series. I don't think it wasn't as bad as the worst of the series. It wasn't as good as the best of them. I'd put it, right up here in line with all the other ones that I enjoyed.
Wouldn't the plot happen after the snap? Yeah. Yes, that would have been after Civil War.
Yeah, well, that's one thing, too, is, like, Gravik collected the DNA after the Battle of Earth, which is the battle at the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean the Skrulls couldn't have been plotting things before that, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So there's some things to still be resolved and some questions still. But
I feel like
at least for the moment, I liked it just as much as the other series. Maybe not as much as some, but maybe more than others. Definitely more than Moon Knight and more than WandaVision because I didn't like the ending of WandaVision. If WandaVision had a better ending, I would have put it ahead. But are you guys good with putting it up with the other series?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. And then, last but not least, another MCU adjacent property we've talked about a little bit. The second in the series of 3. Across the Spider-Verse. Now, it's going to take me a minute to work it out, sorry. This thing's
definitely have not seen
mid to high
yet.
grade.
We did see it.
We did.
I didn't like it as much as I liked the first one. I think the first one is like the one true comic book movie in that they put a comic book on the movie screen. As much as you possibly could actually translate a comic book into a movie. There's been plenty of movies based on comic books, but that was like a living, breathing comic book on screen. I think they went a little too far with this one. Some of the different art styles and stuff really threw me off, and it's like I have trouble, relating to that and trying to, how do you justify that? Like, it doesn't really make. There's a guy who clearly looks like he's made out of paper, and he's changing styles of paper, and and I'm talking about, is it Hobie or Hobby?
Did you ever read Flat Stanley?
Hobie, I believe.
But again, I think there are things that work, and I know people may like, the things work on the page, but not on the stage. Yeah. And a lot of that stuff I think does work on the stage when you're talking about just a textbook. Not a textbook like a school book, but a book that's nothing but text with maybe some illustrations. But a graphic novel, there's so much you're going to do visually. Some of it will translate well to the movies, and some of it you can adapt, but some of it I just think is best left on the page, and I think they went too far in this one.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm not leaving it below average. I just haven't worked my way up yet. I just want to talk about it a little bit. I also didn't like the way they left it on the cliffhanger. Like, I don't have a problem with it being a cliffhanger, especially since we know there's another one coming. But since there was going to be a good deal of time between them, I think they could have chosen a better point to do it. Like, I'm fine with, Miles being in the wrong universe.
Yeah, if they just did it a little bit earlier,
I'm fine with him seeing his alternate universe self, and I'm fine with him realizing he's the Prowler. But the way they put Miles in jeopardy, that felt like an episodic TV show. You leave your hero in danger, and maybe even a season finale where you come back in 3 months. But with such a long break in between these, I felt like we deserved a little more. Not even resolution, but just a little safer space to leave it on, And we know Miles is going to get out of it somehow, but I mean, it's still, I don't like ending on that note. I feel like if he's in the other room looking in on himself and realizes he's the Prowler, instead of him being tied up and basically maybe getting killed by his alternate universe self.
As far as the cliffhanger, I have mixed feelings on it right now, because whether or not there's a better point, maybe? I definitely thought there were some better points. Part of me is also like, I could very much feel differently once we see it. And my main thing is, okay, the next movie was supposed to come out in March.
But
now we don't know.
A year between the two.
Almost.
So even that, if you were going to do it in like March of one year and then the holiday season, I think that would have been a little more justifiable.
Maybe a little better,
the already design gap made it a little less acceptable.
A little less.
But at the same time, that didn't.
But now not knowing when it's coming back, it does kind of really bug me. But I don't know if that's just because I didn't enjoy it or just because it's a cliffhanger and it's like, no, I want to know what's happening next,
But even without that, I didn't like this movie as much as I liked the first one. Like I said, I have a lot of trouble reconciling all the different visuals.
Well, I'll accept if you wanting to rank it below. I don't know.
I'm not ranking it below average.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying below the first one.
Definitely below the first one.
I know in the first movie there were slightly different art styles, but even with Penny and Peter Porker, they didn't look that much out of place compared to the other characters. And you had Noir Spider-Man, which, I admit, it's weird because he's all in black and white, and you only see he's in black and white. But with it being just that one single character, it felt like a funny joke. and I can live with that, and I can reconcile that more than just so many disparate Spider-Men. And like I say, it starts out early on with that alternate version of Vulture, and she's like, "Are you made out of parchment?" And like, how is that supposed to work in a real 3D space? I don't.
Here's a tip: don't think of it as a real 3D space.
But then I can't enjoy the movie as much because I'm watching a movie and it's supposed to be real. It's supposed to be real people in their world, and then like all the weird, sort of punk visual style of Hobie that I don't know how to describe it. But that's good. I didn't like the visual style of him because it was jarring to me and just took me out of the movie. B, I didn't like the character because I thought he was the fucking preening cliche.
I love him.
He reconciled himself much more. Reconciled himself. I guess it's not the right word. He redeemed himself later on when he quit the Spider Colony or quit the Spider Corps, and then set himself up to help Gwen, and then came back to be part of her group. He definitely redeemed himself, and looks like he'll be better going forward. But just for the time, like I say, he felt like a preening cliche, and I'm like, if that's your rebel, I mean, I got questions for you.
Cool.
I like Hobie. Yeah.
But all that being said, it was still very good.
Definitely.
It was far from the first movie.
Okay.
But the first movie is one of the best movies I've ever seen. So there's a lot of space to fall and still be good.
I'd say mid to high grade. If it didn't have that cliffhanger,
It's still below that
amazing.
movie.
I don't know. First watch, that feels high to me. First watch, it feels good. I'm not going to argue too hard on it, though, because there were still a lot of good things about it.
I want to go grade. Mayday's adorable.
I'd say easily mid grade. It's definitely better than Civil War, Age of Ultron, Captain Marvel.
Oh, fuck you. Look.
I don't feel like it's an entirely fair comparison, honestly.
No, but maybe. No, but hell fucking no.
If they have that cliffhanger, if I had a better cliffhanger, I might go amazing.
But if it had a different resolution, yeah, well, a better cliffhanger wouldn't have stayed. If you gave me if I got the whole story in one movie, then maybe I would feel differently. And it's the same thing with Infinity War and Endgame to a lesser degree, because we kind of knew what was going to happen in Endgame, but we didn't know the specifics of how it was going to happen and everything was going to happen. And this one is sort of wide. We didn't have this big earth-shattering event where, well, we know they're going to save the day in some form or fashion. We know most of the heroes are going to come back, especially the ones like T'Challa and Spider-Man who have movies coming up, even though, as it turned out, T'Challa didn't make the second movie, but nobody knew that at the time.
I think a bad cliffhanger will help, because, Infinity War wasn't quite a cliffhanger.
But the thing is,
it's similar, but it had a good ending cliffhanger.
At this point, too, when it comes to this tier, I could move this up higher. I can move something lower. I can... the series, it kind of just depends on what I've seen lately. That's why I was trying not too hard to worry about once we were in the tier. Because, first viewing, I loved Quantumania. I probably liked it better than this.
I mean, of course it's better than Quantumania.
I mean, honestly, Deadpool would probably go higher. Maybe we could argue some of the series. Once we get them into the tier, it's a lot harder to decide what's better than what.
I'd say, of course, at least better than Age.
I mean, that's kind of the purpose of tiers.
Exactly.
Just at least put above Age of Ultron.
But I can't put it ahead of Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel was so good.
Then put Miss Marvel above Age of Ultron.
Okay, but then does Hawkeye go above it too? Does Loki? It's getting hard at this point. And look, I'll fight for Age of Ultron. I know it's overlooked, but it's a really good movie.
But
I'm going to say it's good. It's good.
Look.
But I'll probably take at least some of the Disney Plus series over.
Which one has Peter Park's car?
Hey, you guys have not seen Age of Ultron in a long time.
Which one has Peter Park's car in it?
That's not a point in his favor.
It is a point in his favor.
But the only problem with Avengers Age of Ultron is there's one line that was written poorly. When Cap's like, if you get hurt, hurt him back. If you die, walk it off. They're the fucking Avengers. Why wasn't if you die, we'll avenge you? I'm just saying. You put that in, that movie's perfect. The movie is great. And when Wanda finishes off Ultron, come on, there's so much good stuff in that movie. And bet you didn't see that coming.
And also, which movie had the Atari Hulk?
Look, here's my only thing.
Was it Atari Hulk? Atari something.
Yeah. I'm not really going to argue that much about what goes above what. I just feel like if I start moving, okay, I move this up here, or maybe I move it here, or I move it here, or wherever you think we should put it. And then I move this down. We could spend hours fine-tuning this. I don't care, as long as it's in the right tier. So, I mean, if you really want this up here, I really don't care that much to fight you, because I certainly didn't hate it. Go down here to this tier down here. Yeah, we'll fight about that if you want to move them. But Here, I'm fine with whatever. Like I say, they're great.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some are a little greater than others, but I think this is pretty good. We talked about revisiting a couple, but I don't really see much we need to change. Like I said, I don't feel the need to sit here for hours fine-tuning the list.
I'm going to take Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. down too, but
I know you would, but Alex really wants it up there, and I don't have a reason to move it down.
I'd also take Volume Z down too, honestly.
Yeah, well, that's why this is our show, and you're just together. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Takes Iron Man down a tier.
Yeah, what was that? Oh, yeah.
No, sorry.
You're probably right. I don't even remember where we had this. Was it here?
Yeah.
Here? Okay.
No, wait that, please. Please don't fuck the animal.
No, by and large, I'm good with this, though. Like I said, discounting all the stuff we haven't seen. And, I mean, even some of the stuff that only one of us have seen. But
Hold up. I said that's 42 right then. Haven't seen, correct?
Yes.
Or did it go up? It may be back.
You said it's 40, now it's 42.
9, 10, 11. It's 33 plus 9 is 42, yeah.
Okay, and then go back up to all the others real quick. How many of these have I not seen? How many did you put up here?
These 3 you definitely haven't seen.
Okay, so that's 45.
Beyond that, a lot of the ones up here that somebody didn't see was you seeing them and not me and Dylan. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else you haven't seen.
Okay, I think
45 things I need to see.
I think we've seen more than 45 movies up here.
I don't know how many are there.
I was counting and I got to like 43.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 through great.
Okay.
And then good takes it to 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So 40 through good.
Yeah.
And 42, 44, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 52 we've seen collectively.
So a little bit ahead.
I'm just saying that means about half of the MCU is great to above.
But a lot of this stuff that we haven't seen is the Netflix series.
Yes.
It's the Sony Spider-Man verse.
Yes.
It's the Fox X-Men movies.
Yes.
And it's a bunch of, short films.
Yeah.
So, and
To be fair, it's a
Chelsea
lot of
lately.
things. It's a lot of things that
so it's stuff we
aren't
could have
MCU.
seen, but a lot of it predates y'all
currently unknown
and
whether or
predates
not
the
they're
actual
MCU.
So it's understandable why we haven't seen
Yeah.
this. Because again, there's only so much time. And speaking of
But,
only so much time, if y'all want to get to a quiz, we should probably jump over to it.
Okay.
You got something else you need to add? I think we made a pretty good list here.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
So, all right, so that's our highly subjective ranking.
You need to screenshot this so I know what list of things I need to watch.
Okay, well, I'll get that for you later.
Okay.
I'm going to switch over really quickly now.
Okay.
These 15 trivia questions will separate 80s girls from Gen Zers.
Of course.
God.
We gotta know, are you an 80s girl or a Gen Z?
Or is that what we're
The
doing?
two genders.
Yeah, the
Okay.
two genders.
All right, so coming back in 5. All right, well, we're running kind of long, but we did promise some quizzes, so we're going to get to just a couple really quickly. This one is coming from BuzzFeed.com. It's going to be these 15 trivia questions will separate 80s girls from the Gen Zers.
Alright,
Well, I'm neither of those, but I guess I'm closer to an 80s girl.
I guess. We'll find out.
This was from April 27, 2019 by Brian Galindo and Crystal Rowe.
Okay.
Alright.
So, are you all ready to get into it?
I'm
Yes.
ready.
All right. So, what were these dolls called? They're not Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah,
That's
I can do
fact.
Baby Mine, My Child, Precious Baby, or Little Loves. I'm not familiar.
I'm gonna go
with these.
Precious Baby, that's my
Prove me again
vote.
that I'm not an
I want
80s
to
girl.
go Little Loves.
Little Loves. The little's kind of bugging me.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's
I
not a
almost
doll.
feel like
I feel like
Baby
Mom
Mine.
would.
Baby Mine does not feel like
Baby
it.
Mine
Mine
sounds.
was the
from
sequel to the
acting.
80s hit Enemy Mine.
I was gonna say it sounds like
And My Child could
not
but
quite
that's
another doll
generic.
line,
We're
but it
all
sounds
over
very
the place
similar
on
to
this.
another
Somebody
doll
needs to make
line.
a pick here.
I'm
I
saying,
said Little Loves.
I'm saying Precious Baby.
That doesn't help.
Maddie, you but
You get to
You
choose.
two rock, paper, scissors for who's
Okay,
gonna win.
fine.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Dang, I was going
Huh.
to paper, but I.
So
Let's
that's
find out.
that's a
I'm
Little
gonna
Loves.
regret everything, I bet.
It was My Child.
Wow, okay, we were all wrong.
Literally the last
You know?
one was the one.
I may have lost rock, paper, scissors, but at least. Brother and sister.
Yeah.
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 Twins.
We didn't even read the question, though. The people watching along on YouTube saw it, but
Yeah.
listen to the podcast. The next question is, He-Man and She-Ra were twins. She-Ra was He-Man's younger sister, romantically involved, or none of the
Yeah,
above?
weren't they technically twins?
Yes.
The second one is kind of an odd answer to the question.
All right.
That she was He-Man's younger
So we have a
sister.
bowl of cereal. This looks like a bowl of Frosted Flakes, but that's
No.
not the question. It's not?
That's not a bowl of Frosted Flakes, is it?
Right. Oh.
It's either
They look crispier.
Yeah, that looks like Frosted
Okay.
Flakes.
It looks
Frosted
a little
Flakes.
off
That's like
to
my
me.
dad's favorite
Frost-
cereal. It's a good
Nice.
cereal, but it gets salty.
that's
really
80s
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes. It looks better.
That's what it looks like to me.
It could be. There's also a bunch of cereals within
Yeah.
that genre.
But regardless,
so.
that's not the question. The question is which was not a real cereal. And the
Alright.
answers are Rainbow Bright. Don't answer yet. Let me at least read the questions. Nintendo Cereal System, Breakfast with Barbie, or Minnie Mouse's. Now, I can tell you one for sure was a cereal, and that was the Nintendo Cereal
Yeah,
System.
I know the Nintendo system.
Nintendo is for breakfast now. Nintendo is the cereal. Wow. I could have that backwards, but that was the commercial. And it was half the box was a Mario cereal, half the box was Legend of Zelda cereal.
I have no idea what
Rainbow Bright
is.
was a great cartoon
I've-
from the
I was gonna say
80s,
that's a character.
Oh, that's a character.
but so are Minnie Mouse and Barbie.
Yeah, but like those
Breakfast with Barbie doesn't
it's
sound
Minnie
good.
Mouse O's Breakfast with Bobby. I can't speak for the 80s. I know
Bre-
in the 2000s
Breakfast
there was
with
a
Bobby
Bobby
does not
cereal.
sound
They
real.
could be trying to throw us off.
True.
I'm saying breakfast with Barbie.
And you're saying Rainbow, well, Rochambeau again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Alex, and you said Rainbow
I think
Bright.
yeah. Damn.
Those were the incorrect answer.
You know, once
Of course
again,
I did
I
Disney.
lost rock, paper, scissors. But you know, I wasn't wrong.
Um,
Because I didn't,
Punky
I didn't
Brewster,
answer
one
the
of my
question.
favorite shows when I was a kid, and the sequel series on Peacock's actually pretty darn good too, both starring Soleil Moon Frye, pictured here as Punky Brewster.
I've never watched Punky Brewster.
What did Punky Brewster end up running in later seasons of the show? Her own restaurant, her own bookstore, her own clothing store, her own record store.
Clothing sounds accurate, but I don't know. Like if I had to guess,
I'm gonna say not restaurant.
The thing is, the original show, she was still a kid. I mean, she's an adult in the sequel series.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, she never grew that old in the original series. It only ran for a couple of years.
What kind of child won?
I don't... That's what
essentially
I'm saying.
any of it.
You know, nowadays you feel like she could run an online business.
I'm saying
or something,
record.
But
I feel like even without online businesses, technically it's better than a show.
I know her adopted
Yeah.
dad
Look at
was
those
a
sneakers.
photographer, and she was
That's
in
a record
photography. And
store.
I think that's what
Hold
she
on.
does is photography in the sequel series.
Interesting.
I mean, bookstore could.
She gives me clothing
And like I
store
said, I
vibes.
loved
could.
Country Bruce when I was a kid, but I don't remember this part of
I've
it.
never seen it.
So, are you guys agreeing on something?
I'm saying record or book.
And I'm saying clothing.
Rock, paper, scissors is not even going to work here.
Maddie, what would your guess be?
Punky's Place comes to mind,
Okay.
and that almost sounds more like a restaurant. But she's not going to be
Possible.
cooking, so it's
Exactly.
probably not that. None of these sound real, because again, she's a
Okay.
kid.
Yeah, but
I know. I
Okay,
understand
what
the
is a
character.
kid most likely going to
I understand.
do?
Look, I
between
understand
all
the
this?
character. None of them.
Look at those,
Obviously, we have
look
different
at those
opinions on
sneakers.
children.
That's some
Now,
record
the one thing I
store
will
sneakers.
say is her ex-husband in the sequel series is a musician, so maybe there's that connection.
record store. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna go with Gobble on this
Okay.
one because I don't like
We'll
any of
see.
the answers. We will see.
It was a
It was a
restaurant.
restaurant, and if it was called Punky's
Oh.
Place, I'm gonna slap myself.
That's
You know what? I have Google.
You know, I bet
right
Mom would
there.
know all of these.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd know the Punky Booster one.
Well, maybe not all of them, but
What came as a bonus whenever you bought LA gear?
what's an LA gear?
They're sneakers. In this case, hold on. Let's see what an LA Gear sticker, different colored laces, coordinating socks, or a keychain that looked like a license plate. I had a pair of LA Gear, but it was like in the 90s when they did the light-up shoes, when they had like removable lights in the back of the heel. And I didn't buy them new. I traded a friend of mine for them.
Okay, would they give?
I think a keychain, though. That feels right. I feel like shoes and a
Okay.
keychain go together.
Okay,
A sticker's certainly possible. The different colored laces are a possibility.
I was gonna say the laces
yeah,
sound
I
right
mean
to
the
me, but
laces are
I don't know.
possible, but it's like who wants to replace
It
laces?
was the keychain.
Who wants to replace laces? That's a pain.
The name of this TV show picture. I actually know the name of this show. I actually watched it and enjoyed it.
I don't know what that shows.
So, the possible answers are Coach, Eureka, Just the 10 of Us, and Too Close for Comfort.
Wait, what was the question?
What's the name of the TV show pictured here?
Okay.
It was a spinoff from another show, and I honestly can't remember what show it was spun off from now, but I watched them both. This is Just the 10 of Us, though.
Dang, I was gonna say it's not that because there's only 8 people in the picture.
It is, but it's Just the 10 of Us.
Ask Jinsei the question, they're gonna count the amount of people in the picture.
Which candy made its debut in the 80s?
Oh,
Now,
good.
Gummy bears are pictured, but
Probably not.
I was gonna
it's
say, I
not-
know it's not gummy
It's
bears, but I
not
love that
them.
picture.
The other
Pop
options
Rock
are
sounds
Pop Rocks,
I'm gonna say
Push
Push
Pop,
Pop.
Bubble Yum, and Starburst. I
Push
even
Pop
watched a
feels like
show
the 80s.
on the creation of Pop Rocks.
Push Pop feels like an 80s.
But yeah, but no, Push Pop feels 90s.
It's like, yo, you know those lollipops,
Pop-Rocks.
you can push it.
Here's some candy that's gonna explode in your mouth.
Okay, Bubble Yum I know goes back at least to the 70s because there was like a big controversy where kids were claiming that they used spiders' eggs or something in it to make the gum chewy or whatever, and they had to actually come out with a series of ads saying people have been saying bad things about a good gum.
I find Starburst was like 70s though.
Predates the 80s.
Pop Rocks, I mean,
Pop-Rocks-
that could be 80s.
I know. I even saw. That's when I first heard of them, and it felt like they were new when
It's
I
like
heard
Pop
of them.
Rock.
But there's a lot of things when you're a kid, you're like, "Oh, I just discovered that, and it's been around for 30 years."
I feel like Pop Rock is fairly.
Push-
I'm saying Push Pop.
What is push pop? Is the lollipop that pushes up,
I
Yeah.
guess.
or because there's like an ice cream thing too that pushes up like that.
But
No,
to
Push
be
Pop is
fair-
the lollipop, I'm pretty
But
sure.
to be fair, they'd probably
And
be
this
calling
is
them
candy.
That's right.
suckers
The ice cream one is
in the
push
80s.
up.
Yeah.
They'd probably be calling them suckers in the 80s.
I'm fine.
Starburst is okay,
saying
but
Push
I
Pop,
vote
though.
I'm fine with Push
Pop
Pop.
Rocks.
I just.
I mean,
I
is
feel
that
like
the
either's
90s?
definitely.
That's given
I
the
feel like
80s.
was Pop and Rock
be-
popular in
And
the
what is
80s?
what they even did this on MythBusters. The myth was that Mikey from the Life cereal commercials ate a bunch of Pop Rocks and drank a bunch of soda and his stomach exploded. It doesn't tell you when they came out though, because he would have been grown by the 80s. But I still feel like Pop Rocks are older. I think I'm only-
Let's find out.
It was
Yeah,
Pop-
look
See,
up,
I
look
know.
up. Now
I
I'm
know
gonna have
these
to Google
things.
Pop Rocks, but I just wanted to say I was trying to look up the Punky Booster.
Alexa
Give me
got
just a
this. Alexa
second.
got
I was trying to look up the Punky Booster stuff, and all I found is Punky's Place is the restaurant owned by Henry, it seems, but he
That's
names the
adopted
restaurant
dad.
after her.
Yeah, and so she didn't run it. So that's what Punky's Place sounded
There is a
right.
day where she does run it.
Okay, well, fair enough, but I mean, it wasn't like her business. So that's what was throwing me off there. Like I said, Punky's Place sounded right, and that felt like a restaurant, but the idea of her running any of that seemed a little specious. But anyway,
Pop Rocks are from 1956.
Wow.
back to the quiz. What is the name of this Barbie?
Show me my options.
We have Barbie and the Rockers, Video Star Barbie, Barbie and the Sonic Sensations, and Showtime Barbie.
Shit.
I mean, isn't
That one has
Barbie
a
and the
microphone.
Rockers the whole thing?
Yeah, is that the one from
It's
the
not
VHS
singular
you have?
Barbie, is.
That
Okay,
kind
that
of
could
looks
be the
like
Barbie and the
it
Rockers
is.
Barbie. That feels like a good guess.
It's not Video Star, I can confirm it. I was debating between, but now I remember Video Star.
So, is
So
it
my
Barbie?
best guess is
And
Rockers.
I mean, Showtime Barbie would be like the softcore porn Barbie.
I mean,
Because Showtime would show like the. It's a pay TV channel.
just click
It's a
Barbie
funny
and the
joke,
Rockers.
man. It is. It was Barbie and the Rockers.
alright.
I
We're
still
getting
have
close to
kids
the
out
80s
there.
goal with every question.
All right. Which of these characters had a popular line of kids' vitamins? It's
Flintstones?
Flintstones. But I don't know if that's on here.
We're gonna find out.
It's not.
Oh,
We have Care Bears,
shit.
Rainbow
I'm gonna say
Bright,
Care Bears.
Cabbage Patch Kids, and Strawberry Shortcake.
I'm going
gonna
to
say
ask
Care
where
Bears.
the hell these are nowadays.
I had Flintstone vitamins when I was a kid. I can't.
Fuck Flintstones,
Think
I want these.
Little
I
gummy
watched
Care
all
Bear
these as
vitamins?
cartoons, but
Think
Gummy Care Bears!
like gummy bears, but the
yeah,
Care
but gummy. I don't even know if they were gummies. We don't have gummy vitamins back then.
I
They were all
doubt that,
cheap.
but I don't. I
Rainbow
want Gummy
Bright.
Care
I mean,
Bears. Why
Rainbow
the
Bright
fuck
was
would you say
great,
this?
but I don't know if it was big enough. Cabbage Patch Kids, I doubt. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
doubt.
Strawberry Shortcake.
She could have.
Or
I mean, that's
Care
possible.
Bears. Well, everybody seems okay with that.
Okay.
Nice. But now I want Gummy Care Bears. Like, why the fuck would you do this? I mean, I'm sure they make fruit snacks. They probably suck, but still.
Electric Youth was a popular perfume created by which singer? Tiffany, Debbie Gibson,
Who?
Paul Abdul, or Kylie Minogue? Just point of fact, I had a crush on 3 of these girls when I was a kid in the 80s.
Why not the other one?
Because she hit bigger in the United States than, well, she did The Locomotion was her big hit, which was a cover, of course, in the 80s. And I knew that song, but I didn't necessarily know the singer behind it. And I was just more familiar with the other 3.
Do you know which
Kylie
one
Minogue
made
is
this?
Australian, and she was, bigger in her native country for the by and large.
Do you know which
she
one
hit pretty
made
big
this?
in the night. No, I don't.
Dang it!
I'm just saying.
Maybe Casey knows.
I had a crush on Tiffany, Debbie Gibson, and Paula Abdul.
I feel as though it could be a few of them, but I'd guess maybe
In fact, in that
like they're vibing
in that
together.
scrapbook
So
my
what
mom
might
made
Casey
me.
know?
In that scrapbook my mom made me for my 10th birthday, Tiffany, Debbie Gibson, and Paula Abdul all feature prominently.
Do you know which one made Electric
You know what
Celebrity.
singer had a perfume called Electric Youth?
Yeah, your 80s goal. There's
I don't
80s
think-
goal versus
That
Gen
feels
Z.
like Debbie Gibson.
Does
Honestly,
it? Okay, I know
I don't
nothing
know why.
about
I don't remember a song
I
or
don't want to say I know
album of any of
nothing
those
about
artists
them,
with
but I
that
like
name.
know nothing
And
about
Paula
them.
Abdul was later 80s too. Tiffany and Debbie Gibson were earlier in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no
So I'm
idea.
feeling Debbie
Okay.
Gibson, but I don't remember it. So.
I'll go with whatever you feel, because
Was
you know
the
more about
previous
them.
question something about the locomotion?
No,
No.
Kylie Minogue did the cover of Locomotion that hit in the 80s.
You were correct, good job.
Hey, I'm an 80s girl.
Well, let's see what the next question
A
is.
couple weeks ago, I was Pedro Pascal. This week, I'm an 80s girl.
And that happens.
Which of these was a hit song off the Flanch? Oh, Flanch. Flashdance soundtrack. Let me read them all. She Works Hard for the Money by Donna Summer. Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. Maniac by Michael Cimbello. Or Maneater by Hall & Oates. All
Do you know
classic
Casey?
80s song. I know. Very
Why
famous
are you
scene.
asking me?
Because this is 80s gold or Gen Z.
Guess what? I've never seen Flashdance.
I think you've seen this scene, though,
I doubt I have.
portrayed in other media. It's Maniac. The one where she's dancing and with the leg warmers and the aerobics gear on. It's Maniac.
I've never seen
Flashdance is a hit song from the movie as well, but
Never seen Flashdance.
I don't think that's come
Maniac.
up in our memes.
Well, what's the next question is?
Nintendo came with what dual game pack? Now I'm going to know the
I
answer to
already
this,
know
but I
this.
want to expound upon this as well. There's a few things here. The choices here are Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt, Super Mario Bros. And Tetris, Super Mario Bros. And Stack Up, and Super Mario Bros. And Paperboy. Now there are versions of the NES that came with, I believe, Stack Up, because those are the Rob the Robot ones.
Yes.
There are versions of the NES that came with only Super Mario Bros. There's the version of the NES that I had that came with the triple cart, because it came with the Power Pad, and it had Super Mario Bros., Duck Hunt, and Track and Field. It came with the Zapper as well for Duck Hunt. But the answer in this case is going to be Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Yes, easily.
Do we have the Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt, or do we just
No.
have Super Mario Bros.?
We do have Mario Bros.
I don't have my triple cart.
I've
anymore
never
either,
played Duck Hunt.
unfortunately.
You've never played.
We don't have it.
Well, we have to find a copy.
We don't have,
We don't
a
have a
Zapper
Zapper.
either.
I don't want to
We'll have
play
to get a
that.
Zapper.
And
I had the original gray
And
Zapper.
also-
But I
and
think
then
you
had the
could play
orange
it without the
Zapper.
Zapper. But it was
All right,
harder.
Moving on. What was the name of the line that put this out? Dateline, the talking dating game.
Isn't it?
Dateline, isn't that a new series? Dateline, the talking dating.
Who are the
Tina?
things on here?
Do you know?
Just Us Girls, Totally Teen, Teen Life, and Girl Talk. Totally Teen feels right.
I thought it was Gold Talk,
I think it's
honestly.
Girl Talk.
I mean, Go Talk. would-
Yeah.
Can we see through the black?
No.
Looking at this, it looks like Dream Phone.
Yeah.
I've been dreaming on my dream.
phone. So we're going Girl Talk. Okay,
Alright.
it was Girl Talk. Thanks for the help.
Look. Ask me about cringy teenage shit.
What was
Why, Casey,
this
do you know
toy
that?
and stationery line called?
Oh, that's adorable. What is
Poppy, Roxy, Poochie, or Daisy?
Poochie? I don't know for
Poochie
sure,
was
but
the
that
character
sounds
from
cute.
The Simpsons. We're not sure. That's what we're trying to decide.
I honestly don't know.
Roxy
but
and
it's
Poppy
cute.
feel right to me. I'm not sure
possibly.
which.
I'm gonna say Roxy. Look at those.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was
going
Roxy.
Roxy too.
Okay.
That's talking there. But a girl.
Was
Poochie,
Poochie.
dang it.
It was not just the characters that introduced on. What was even introduced on? It was something on The Simpsons, but it was like a show on. The
Saying
Simpsons.
Poochie, it's making me think of something else.
It was either Krusty the Clown or Itchy and Scratchy.
What the hell is this other thing?
Anyway, in Jim and the Holograms, what did we find out? And
Oh,
see
Casey would definitely know that.
about Jerica and Kimber's.
Casey just left. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, I didn't watch Jim and the Holograms.
I haven't watched it enough to know this, but
Casey, you know about Jim and the
Those are
Holograms,
not
right?
Whoppers.
You know
Those
what
are
a
Bojangles
lot?
chicken sandwiches.
No, but not.
Yeah, they were. They were totally chicken sandwiches from Bojangles.
oh my
I only
god.
kind of know about.
I just
What did
want
we find out about Jerica and Kimber's mother? That she was secretly still alive, that she died in an airplane crash, that she died of an illness, or that she was the one who created the Misfits?
Oh,
Punk band? I think she created the Misfits.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that
that's what I-
sounds like it's very possible. No.
Damn,
not
she died in an
sure.
airplane crash.
Okay.
Well,
But an 80s goal.
we scored 96% better, but we only got 67% right.
Nice.
180s goal.
Like, OMG, you're totally an 80s girl. Congrats, you grew up in the best decade, the 80s. Yeah, I did. And probably had a seriously
I did
amazing
not.
childhood. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, we promised one personality quiz, so we're going to do that now. This is What Kind of Video Game Is Your Life? Posted on May 30th, 2014
Whoa.
on BuzzFeed by W.D. Ventito.
Okay.
And Johnny's going to join us for this. I'm going to actually, if you're watching along on YouTube, I'm going to be doing Johnny's answers on screen, and I'll do mine on my personal device as Lexi and Dylan do theirs.
I
Nice.
said daddy.
What?
I need to say did.
I need to say Sonic.
Okay.
Sonic.
Okay. So what kind of video game is your life? Question number 1. Select a difficulty setting. We have easy living, make mine medium, gimme hard, please, I'm an expert, legendary, normal.
Give me
I want to go
hard.
medium.
Johnny, which of those do you like? Do you want easy, make mine medium, hard, expert, legendary, or normal?
Normal.
Right, Johnny's going normal.
And I
Alright.
think that is normal.
Okay.
Alright. Choose a. Oh, I'm looking at my phone and the screen. I'm sorry. I need to keep up on the screen for those watching along. Choose a controller. We have a mouse, a keyboard, a steering wheel, an Atari joystick, a zapper, and a TV remote.
Okay,
this is
I'm
the
just
worst
saying-
selection of controllers.
I'm
I have
just
the mouse
saying-
and the keyboard separate.
Yeah, they go together.
Yeah, and where's the actual video game controllers?
You get the joystick thing.
Yeah, but I mean, that's great if I'm playing an Atari 2600. Okay, Johnny, which of these controllers do you
Keyboard
prefer?
and mouse go together.
Well, you don't get to choose both. You got a mouse, a keyboard, a steering wheel.
I mean, if I had to pick, I'd pick
keyboard and
keyboard over
mouse.
mouse.
You
You can
can't
just
pick them
pick
both.
one.
You only one.
I'd pick-
keyboard and
I
mouse.
can't pick them
You have
both.
to pick
Johnny.
a
You have to
keyboard
pick
or
one or the
mouse.
other. I didn't design
Can't
the
pick
quiz.
So do you want a game that you can play with just a mouse, or a game that you can play with just a keyboard? Or one of the other controllers? Which one?
The TV.
Oh,
Okay.
you want the TV remote? Okay.
You know, that's some nostalgia right there. Those DVD games. Oh, I miss
I think
those.
this is
The movies that came with games, those were the best.
All right. What do you do when you're offline? Sharpen my skills. Go shopping. Pick fights with people. Watch TV. Hang out with my friends, or explore the neighborhood.
What do you mean offline?
Johnny,
That's a
what
good
do you
question.
do?
My doctor about enemies to about.
Explode?
You can sharpen your skills. You can go shopping. You can pick fights. You can watch TV. You can hang out with friends, or explore the neighborhood.
How did you shoot that one?
Explore?
Explore? Oh, okay. I thought you would go with watch TV.
Yeah, it's going with watch
I
TV
thought
because,
it was
like,
both big fights.
I mean,
I watch TV online.
All right. How do you pay for stuff? Bananas. Don't ask. My credit card. Spare change. With my time. I steal everything. Cold, hard cash.
I already clicked bananas.
Bananas.
Credit card. I'm in severe credit debt.
All right.
It's not severe.
Choose a musical instrument. We have a flute, a drum set, a piano, a microphone, a what is that,
Guitar.
like a guitar,
Yeah.
or a full orchestra.
I mean, like, the guitar is cool. Drums.
Okay, but like an entire orchestra?
Johnny, which of these do you like?
Guitar might be my second choice, though.
Keyboard.
The guitar, the synthesizer here. All right,
Yeah, the keyboard.
gotcha.
Drums, because drums are cool.
The keyboard.
Okay.
All right. Hold on, I'm having a little issue scrolling here. Pick a polygon. We have a cube, a circle, a tube, I guess a cylinder,
A
a
D8,
diamond,
a D12,
this,
and a
and
D4.
a pyramid.
Well, since
Or
there's no
triangular
D20, I'll
prism.
pick the D8.
And
I went D8 because it makes me think of a
Also
plum
the
bob.
D8?
Makes me think
Which
of a
one of
plum
you?
bob.
Which one of these do you like?
That,
There's no D100. The
fair.
circle?
You have the circle.
This? This?
Yeah, the
The rings. Okay.
Johnny has a lollipop in his mouth. That's why he sounds.
Yeah.
He does.
Sorry, tell me what you
What's
have.
the worst way to go? Losing a duel, crushed in a riot,
Okay.
falling off a cliff, dying alone, terminal illness, or shot in the back.
All of the above?
Johnny,
Shot
you
in
want
the
to pick
back.
one of those?
How would you not like to die?
I know it's pretty dark, but you can get shot.
Die alone.
Yeah, that's what I meant with.
All right, yeah,
I want a shot in the back.
fair enough.
I want someone betraying me. That's even worse than dying alone.
All right, next up, pick an Easter egg. We have a golden egg, a literal egg, a chocolate egg. I hope.
That's an egg and a half.
an Easter egg.
I think that's a boiled egg. That's a plain
Just
egg.
an egg and a Yoshi.
Yeah, I was gonna
egg.
say the one you said regular egg. I'm getting boiled egg vibes. I'm going Yoshi
You
though.
like Yoshi, John?
No, don't.
The gold egg?
I got Yoshi. This past Easter, I literally made one of them a Yoshi egg. So
Alright. What would your cheat
And
code
then
unlock?
this away.
You just hold it until we're finished with this quiz. What would your cheat code unlock? XP, time, money, ammunition,
extra life,
life,
or just hit points, health,
food.
extra
and
life.
food.
Oh, obviously a watch. My cheat code would. That's not time now. My cheat code would unlock a really cool watch for your character.
My cheat code is Mother.
Is that your answer? Okay.
Yeah, money. You
Flashing
Sims fan.
color warning.
You Sims fan
What's
with
your
your money.
boss like? Really, really tall. I work for my country. I'm a freelancer. Very mysterious. I am the
Oh,
boss.
like boss of.
Or rich and powerful.
I thought this
I
was
am
like
the
boss of
boss.
video game, not like woke boss. I'm my own boss.
Alright, I'm not going to click Johnny's yet because it'll reveal his answer, so.
I am the
Yeah, I'm going to click yours. I'm just waiting. You guys let me know when y'all are ready. Are y'all ready?
I was debating, but yeah.
Alright, and Johnny is a mobile game. He's a
Same.
social butterfly who's always on the go. When friends invite you out, you're there. You get along well with others and have no trouble striking up conversation. People find you affable, inclusive, and empathetic, and they can't wait to introduce you to their family, from whom you receive daily
I'm
invites.
changing all my answers.
I got a mobile game. We all got mobile games.
All mobile games.
Big.
That's the only freaking.
To be fair, I think we
option.
did answer pretty
Hey, Bobby.
similarly.
It feels like it.
Just reset the page. Do it very differently. Real
Nah,
quick.
I'm good. Anyway, check out the quiz on your own. Share with us your tier list for the MCU, and make sure you come back next time when the conversation will continue. Until then, I am and will continue to be Maddie.
Lexi.
Dylan.
Danny.
And for Casey, this is Lexi concluded.
Bye. And he no longer has a lollipop.
Bye.